Today on Breaking Bitcoin, the rally in the leading digital asset Bitcoin continues, and MCO-to-CRO.com just set the market ablaze with plans to essentially delist and stop supporting its MCO token in favor of its CRO token. All this and more in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin.
I'm Naomi Brockwell for NBTV, and this is Breaking Bitcoin.
All right, welcome back to Breaking Bitcoin. This is your daily source for everything cryptocurrency markets and personal finance. I'm Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at crackingcryptocurrency.com. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. We've got a fantastic show for you guys today. And by the way, thank you so much for dealing with the delayed start. So the leverage sliders have been fixed on our FTX accounts. We have identified the guilty party, and he has been summarily punished. And by punish, I mean thank you, because the bullishness is real. We've got a lot to talk about today, guys. So obviously, the big thing in today's news is going to be the MCO announcement. Obviously, one of our own contributors, Crypto Jack, was quick enough to spot this morning. So I'm going to be bringing Jack and Jason a little bit later in the show to get their opinions on both the MCO kind of debacle, and also to break down the current markets. But with that being said, let's see here. Before we begin, we are very, very proud to host the fastest online growing community of traders and cryptocurrency investors. Make sure to join our free Discord community at discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Should be, I think, the first link in the description down there. All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the live chat as we progress. And I'm going to be paying attention to the live chat today, promise you guys. Although I did not get my super special vertical monitor plugged in this morning, but tomorrow I promise it will be plugged in. But overall, we've got a fantastic week. So we're going to be reviewing the the weekly close that we just recently got. We're looking at the Forex markets, looking at where we see liquidity going, where we see volatility going over the next week. And again, general sentiment hasn't changed, but we'll allow the charts to kind of do the talking for us, which is what we do around these parts. If you guys enjoy the content, if you guys enjoy the work that we put into each show, make sure to subscribe or like us on whatever platform you happen to be viewing. With that being said, let's see here. We talked about negativity bias last week. See, we do not have community mentoring, and we already made the announcement about 9,000 subs. Okay, so let's just get into today's charts and see what you guys have to say. So let's get rocking. All right. Obviously, got the big glass today because the thirst is real in the cryptocurrency markets. And yeah, I look a little dark right here. All right. Ring light installed. Oh, come on now. There it is. Sorry, guys. You don't get this level of behind the scenes on Tuesday. No. Only Monday. All right, here we are. Let's get the live chat pulled up in more earnestness. About chat, because OBS still has not fixed their issue. All right. We've got Mass Stash in the crib. Good to see you, my friend. GBU Professor Wally, Wook Chewy, Midwest Attempts, Mr. Unicorn. Wook Chewy says, did I catch the Bitcoin Wick City, though, Saturday Night Fever? No, actually, I did not make any significant adjustments to almost any trade that I have open, with the exception of a few take profits. So actually, we'll take a look here in just a little bit, actually, at the weekend activity, particularly the signals that went out to the premium subscribers. Let's see. Saddle up on them horses. We are going bear hunting. Yes. Good to see you, Peckham. Crypto Jack, Texas Blues, Jordan Stotts. Yes, there he is. Good to see you, my friend. Why is MCO pumping then? That sounds like bearish news. It certainly is bearish news. So it's almost like, you know, it's kind of like algo traders and market makers were sitting around Bittrex and the MCO announcement comes out and one algo trader turns to the other and he says, all right, check this out. I'm just going to turn on the wash volume bot and I bet you we can get all of these noobs to just buy this thing. Yeah, watch. It's going to be incredible. Lip. And sure enough, you know, and that is something, you know, particularly, in my opinion, unique to cryptocurrency bullish cycles. You know, when we're in alt season, you know, literally an announcement could come out that says, you know, I'm just going to pick on XRP, you know, like Brad Garlinghouse convicted of, you know, like federal crimes for laundering money for narcotics or whatever it might be. And price of XRP just goes up. There's no such thing as bad news. But there is a specific, strategy as well with MCO because there is an instant arbitrage opportunity to bid that up and then transfer it if you take advantage of Crypto.com's early bird special to convert it into CRO. XRP going so high that Justin needs a vertical monitor. Yeah. That's what it is. All right. T-Dub says he got the CRO swap plus 20% instantly. Just hoping the card tiers don't force the CRO price down. Yeah, it's one of those kind of interesting scenarios now with CRO where if you were considering purchasing, so listen, you guys have been following my, you know, small journey with MCO. You know, I got the 500, but I'd initially wanted the 5,000 MCO for that card. Well, that's likely not going to happen right now at this point in time. And so, you know, CRO, and we can look at the chart here in a little bit, is at price levels where you have to look at it and think, well, okay, if I invest all of this money into getting this card and then it goes down, that's obviously going to be tragic, but you're like, it's just a little bit too high for me to consider a good, you know, a good entry point right here, right? So it's probably, for me anyways, going to be one of those that got away, and I will allow the market to come kind of into my area where I'd like price to be for long-term accumulation. And that might mean that, you know, with MCO right now, or excuse me, with CRO right now, that I have to miss out on potentially certain aspects of this bullish market. There will be others in the future. So for example, depending on when you started trading cryptocurrency, there were likely big runs that you missed out on. So if you started trading crypto in 2019, you know, do you look back at the 2017 chart and kick yourself for not taking that trade? Well, no, that would be silly because you weren't even actively trading. Like there's no possible way you'd have taken a trade in 2017 if you didn't start trading until 2019. So, you know, it's the same way for trades that you actively miss or just are not the right setups for you, right? So remember, guys, that we deal in statistical probabilities. So as far as I'm aware, we have not yet cracked the science on accurately actually predicting substantively what is going to happen next, right? We cannot predict the future. So we can do the next best thing, which is deal in statistical probabilities. This gives us a massive edge over other market participants who, if you really start objectifying their strategy, basically is kind of like clicking random buttons sometimes. Yeah. So that gives us a huge edge in the market and allows us to take our trades. And sometimes that means that you're going to miss trades. So people commonly ask me, you know, with chart requests, like, hey, you know, please throw up the chart. You're a technical analyst. I'm sure there's a lot that you can see that I can't. And the reality is that is true. You know, I find that this happens a lot in my personal life when, you know, I'm introduced to new individuals in a social setting and they learn that I do technical analysis, and they will, particularly if they're kind of a novice investor, and there's been quite a few of those lately with this big Robinhood run, you know, ask my opinion on a chart. And I can just see kind of the light in their eyes because technical analyst, I must magically somehow be able to see things that they just cannot. And while there are patterns that I've educated myself on, setups that I've educated myself on, setups that I have seen over time produce results or produce statistically likely following movements, because I have built strategies and become a professional trader, I still only get to deal in statistical probabilities, guys. There's nowhere along that path that I make the leap from dealing in probability to, minority report predicting the future. So you have to be comfortable with that. And that means that there are going to be a bunch of times when you miss out on a trade, because you're not allowed to just look at a chart. This is my rule. I'm not allowed to just look at a chart and say, yeah, I like the look of that. If you guys could be a fly on the wall for our analyst meetings, so when all of the Cracking Cryptocurrency analysts get together to recommend trades, sometimes solely for and to benefit our premium community and the premium signal service that we do offer. My biggest pet peeve is, when people use words like, well, I like blank right here. That does not really mean anything. Like, I like blank right here. Well, I like blueberry pie, half, in trees. Okay. It's like true story. Tree houses are cool and blueberry pie is also good. So combine the two, you're all good. That I might like Apple right here. I might like Samsung, well, I never like Samsung, but I might like, Huawei or whatever, right here. Perhaps because I've used their product, or I've just, read some news or heard something, or somebody mentioned something to me, or I slept on my arm wrong. It doesn't matter. Saying that you like some asset somewhere, really is nonsensical. It doesn't really mean anything. The way that I trade, the way that I teach individuals to trade is to develop a system that tells you when to trade. Your subjective opinion on the chart doesn't really matter. Having said that, I really like Bitcoin right here. Okay, so let's get this cracking. Trade of the day is MCO. Jason did have us in an MCO trade, so we'll look at that here in just a second. Actually, you know what? It's like the biggest thing. So let's go ahead and look at the chart first. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, so I see here that Jason called. Get OBS pulled up. I'll see if I can't stream his. Oh, you guys can. Not pretty back there. Just a room. So I just happened to look over the chat and I see S180XT, who is no dummy, say, apparently you lose the rights to sue if you swap. All right, so this is already, degenerating into an interesting conversation about MCO. Listen, I'm going to get into this when we cover the news, but I will just say this. The initial reaction that I'm getting from a lot of individuals about this MCO thing is that Crypto.com is somehow crooked for doing what it's doing. If you really take those arguments far enough, the lambasting that is taking place is predicated on the idea that Crypto.com has some obligation to pump your bags. They don't. In fact, that's actually illegal in modern parlance. So people are kind of upset with MCO for, in my opinion, not pumping their bags hard enough and pumping Crow's bags. Well, why wouldn't they? Like, Crow is their baby. And they knew months ago now, obviously, we have to know this, that they had no intention to go with MCO to the finish line. All right, sorry, guys, but the thirst is real. Okay, so I'm going to share. Go to studio mode here and share. Oh. There we go. So we're going to share Jason's sheet here. All right, so this is Jason's live trade tracking sheet. This is what the live trade tracking sheets look like for premium members when they have access to the premium signal service. This is how we keep track of all of our signals and is one method in which we disseminate the signals to our members. So Jason entered MCO USDT as a swing trade on the 29th of July. Let's go take a look at that and see what this system would have done. I'll actually look at it. Yeah, right here is fine. Class action lawsuits on the horizon. Yes. Class action lawsuits are good because they allow us. Actually, no, I take that back. Lawsuits can be good. It just depends on the jurisprudence. It depends on the precedent that is established, right? So right now, I would really prefer, crypto.com might be okay. They're pretty big established coin. I'm sure that they can get a good legal team. But you guys have to realize, anytime something goes to court, particularly federal court, then what is actually happening is precedent is being established, pursuant to the rulings of the judge, that will affect other litigants later down the road. And so, unfortunately, because humans try really, really hard to, screw up a good thing, we often get kind of the wrong individuals in for what I would consider is an important case with important substantive issues that we need good jurisprudence on how to deal with. And we do not get those litigants in. And so kind of knee-jerk reactions are going to be. And so if you guys, are ever sitting there wondering, like, how do we get these terrible laws sometimes? Hey, Justin, can you might look at AF is the ticker. We will take again. All right. So this is pretty prominent. So let me make this a little smaller. Shoop. Okay. Slide that over there. All right. So the 29th. Now we did look at this and we agreed. Let's bring on. Yeah. So the 29th is not a trade that I would have caught, or excuse me, that this system that I am displaying to you, which is an example of a PTP trading system. This would not have been a valid entry signal for me. This looks like it might have been a bottom feeder signal, which is another one of our popular strategies. Let's see what we were getting so far as signals. Take a second to load. You said monthly time frame on that AF. He said, nah, just the 13 EMA trending system on the MCO trade. Okay. The student has become the master. Yeah. Just, hey, just in case I don't say it enough, it's really neat. I'm going to use the word neat, to have the job that I do. I spend a lot of time mentoring, younger traders, and it's, that's not always rewarding. Obviously, you see a lot of individuals with a lot of potential just choose not to put in the work necessary to cross the finish line. But once in a while, you meet individuals that have just the right amount of drive, have just the right amount of talent, and a little bit of, how do I say this? Just kind of like low-grade insanity. You kind of need a little bit of low-grade insanity to pursue a full-time career in trading, or to do so realistically. And it's been a real honor watching Jason grow from being a premium member to now a junior analyst. It's pretty incredible. So shout out to you, my brother, and good job on this MCO trade. So this looks like any Quadrigo system smashing through your take profits. This is I've honestly gone to, premium members will notice this for almost all of my signals for probably the last 2 months, is that I have gone to almost predominantly a 50-50 approach for my profit-taking strategy. 50-50 is one of 3 profit-taking strategies that I utilize. So for example, everything is a template to me. Okay, this is how I trade. I build templates and then I can put those templates together. So once you've built a few PTP trading systems, it really is kind of a plug and play system. Especially once you start, if you really get into the joy of backtesting indicators and taking notes and noticing things, and maybe even building discretionary trading systems. You will notice things about these indicators as you're testing them, and you will know through your testing what indicators are good at what job. And so when it's time for you to put something together, and this is, this is a trading system that that I threw together for example purposes. I've worked on it, but this is an amazingly high hit rate trading system on cryptocurrency, which is there is some criticism from some people who don't know better that daily time frame swing trading is not the optimum way to trade cryptocurrency because of the volatility. You mean you're not down on that 5-minute chart, man? Catching all those moves? Woo! Big leverage? That's not the right way to trade. There will never be it just depends on who I'm talking to here. So unless I have not made it very, very clear, this channel is, and kind of my whole purpose with the live show, because this live show is public, so this goes out to everybody. My goal, my intentions with this show is to introduce concepts to an individual with a retail level of understanding the financial markets. I do not need individuals to be highly educated about financial markets. I do not need you guys to even really know that much about cryptocurrency. It's fine if you don't. I assume that you will naturally adopt that knowledge. But none of that matters. This is not a boys club for high IQ individuals, right? Although, granted, those are generally the types of individuals that are going to rise to levels of prominence in this type of niche of human society. But that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is to introduce to everybody, individuals who aren't that bright, individuals who are very bright, individuals who are very, very good at statistics and mathematics, to individuals that struggle to pass remedial mathematics. All of this applies to you. You don't need to be as intelligent as you think you need to be. You don't need to be as smart. You don't need to be as quick or timely or comprehensive. You don't. You do not need any of that flack. I mean, they certainly help, but you do not need any of those components necessarily to develop a profitable trading system, right? It is going to be different from the way that most people trade. It is going to take work, especially in the initial phases of strategy construction, but it is worth it. And it's pretty good. Pretty good feeling to do what I do. It's kind of, most individuals want to walk around with that, like a silver bullet in their backpack, or in their back pocket, I know that this works 100%. Well, most people usually don't have that kind of confidence. All right, so let's get into our analysis. Not only is the thirst real, the condensation is real on this drink here. S180XT says, are you saying we're dumb? I am not saying that. What I'm saying is it would be okay if you were, right? Now, obviously, I'm pretty excited that I have met the most incredible people over these last 3 years. I don't know. It's a very, very humbling experience, and I'm really grateful for everybody that's a member of the community. All the new people that I meet all the time, all the new traders that approach me and just send me a DM. You guys, it's a great feeling. It really makes my day positive when I sit down at my computer to do some work and I open up Discord and there's just a bunch of DMs from newer traders asking my advice or my opinion on something. I'm not always going to have the time to answer every single message, but I try. So anyways, I get it, guys. I don't know what's that book called, like Shut Up and Dribble or something like that. They're like Shut Up and Chart. Yeah. All right, get into it. All right, so to Bitcoin, guys. Here we are on the daily. So let's break this down one by one. Looking at the QQE mod as an initiator for our system here, we don't have any follow-up signals here today on the daily time frame. Everything is good. Everything is positive. There has been no exit signals. There have been no changes in trend, no flips in trend. We had a pretty beautiful pullback yesterday on Sunday, and this really did, help. So obviously, those are in the group and those who are in the community are pretty familiar with my analysis, with my outlook last week. I did not recommend that individuals take leveraged Bitcoin positions, okay, what I said very, very emphatically, following the pump on the 27th. I said, all right, guys, listen, buy some Bitcoin if for some reason you're hedged or you have far too much Tether or stablecoin and you don't have a decent allocation of Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin spot. Please do that. But do not open leveraged positions because it is very likely that we pull back and retest. And generally, individuals are going to use quite a bit of margin, just in my experience. So looking out for the best interests of individuals, particularly our premium community members, not recommending the use of leverage. And I think that was a very good play. So I think individuals are safe here to look for, to perhaps look for those at leverage longs. I am not going to officially recommend right now in a public venue that individuals that right now is the day to go apply leverage to your trade if you're long Bitcoin. I'm certainly holding my positions open on Bitcoin because here's the thing, guys. Again, talked about this earlier. I have not yet crossed the golden aisle here. The Illuminati has not yet sent me the proper credentials or sextants and navigation tools to be able to predict the future. What I do know is that I've been doing this Bitcoin thing for a little over 4 years now, and these moments don't come around all the time, right? Now, this might not be the rally that we're looking for. We might reject from here. Oh my God, it's terrible. It's going to be all over the YouTube. But we have a real potential here to just light a fire under this. And I am certainly not going to just sit here and watch price appreciate to the moon without me. There is a responsible and reasonable way to do it, and that is to wait for a signal. So actually, if we were to get a little bit of bullish momentum here, and by bullish momentum, I mean green candle closes, right? I do want to see current price moving more to the upside. So we do have the previous high that we put in here on the daily, and we're on the Bitfinex chart. The previous high on the daily was 12,097. So trading up into that $12,000 area. Again, generally a logical place to see some pullback. Whether the number would have been 11,800, 11,900, 12,200, again, everybody is pretty much on the same page here. We've been staring at the same chart for a year. All right, so let's go to the weekly chart here on Bitcoin. This is my previous long-term analysis, the volume profile analysis. And without, you guys can go see this chart. It's posted on TradingView, tv.crackingcryptocurrency.com. But, spoiler alert, let's just cut to the end here. My prognosis was, doctor or something, that what we were currently seeing was a previous uptrend into a high volume node. High volume node is a train station for price. I feel like, just a second. Whew. All right, so high volume node being an area where price is likely to consolidate and hang out for quite a while, whereas a low volume node is an area that price likes to travel through quite quickly. And we were in a high volume node for quite a while now, and we are now breaking out. We are breaking out to the upside. I am not going to, on just general principles, fade the dominant market cycle, the dominant direction of the market, of the Bitcoin market, which is to the long side. So just here's a trick, guys. If you want to make more money in a bull market, I know that you're gonna there are clowns right now, and if they're not actually clowns, then I apologize in advance. But I'm just going to broadly be right about the majority of them. There are clowns right now posting charts about how they nailed that Bitcoin short yesterday. Those people are not intelligent traders, okay? Like, those people do not have your best interest in mind, most likely, because I've seen those individuals, and it's always somebody different. Every year it's somebody different, posting these superficial good trades. Generally, when Bitcoin is in in a very bullish aspect, or any kind of asset. This isn't just unique to cryptocurrency. They're not that intelligent. And that's the wrong thing to say. It's not that they're not intelligent. It's that those types of charts, or the idea that you missed out on something that you were somehow silly for not seeing that you should have shorted yesterday and maybe you were long. No, you were right, right? They are wrong. When the market is bullish, guess what? The red button on the exchange, the button that says sell, doesn't work. It's broke. So if you guys want to make more money in a bull market, when price is bullish, and you need an objective system to tell you that, right? But when price is objectively bullish, that short sell button just doesn't work. Very similarly, if price is in a pronounced downtrend, not a good time to buy. Now there are a few strategies, particularly ones that I have recommended in our community mentoring sessions, and we're currently working on building those into the online trading academy. That does talk about certain strategies for accumulating coins in their accumulation zones, pursuant to my preferred method of looking at the kind of the big picture of the market, which is Wyckoff theory. So we would be looking for levels of accumulation, and there are a few things that we can look for to help with that. So again, all of that was covered, or a good chunk of that was covered in a previous community mentoring session. Premium members have access to that on the drive. So anyways, suffice it to say, I had been expecting a continuation to the long side out of this. And that is what we got. So on the Donchian system, very sensitive here. The Donchian system did nail this part of the market. So again, the Donchian system here, we've talked about this for, I feel like all of June and a good chunk of July. So certainly lots of opportunities to apply these indicators to your chart. But let's just look at how, and again, the Donchian system getting, I think, one false signal since the consolidation began. Yeah, so pretty good. And caught this last area of the market cycle very good. So again, if the concepts that I'm talking about, or the kind of the general strategy here doesn't make sense, I feel that it is important to state that I trade a proprietary method called generally pathways to profit. Right? It's not what I tend to call my system, but that is the pathways to profit is the course that I designed to teach individuals to build strategies the way that I built them. Okay. So that is that's the nomenclature. That's where these terms come from. That's where the philosophy comes from. If you guys are interested in that, you guys can read more, find more information about that. Links down in the description. It's all on our website. And you pick up some you'll pick up a lot on the stream. So just stay tuned, guys. Smash the like. Alejo Joan. Thank you for the follow over there on Twitch, my friend. And Mituman. Thanks for the sub on YouTube. Let's rain some gold coins in here as we talk about Bitcoin. All right, so Donchian gave the initial long signal. Let's look for when time transformation crosses 0 as a centered oscillator. And we can see that occurs on the 22nd of July. All right, so we have our initiator giving us the signal on the 22nd of July. We look at our confirmer, true strength index. Cool. We do see that the TSI line is above the signal line, so that is bullish confirmation, so we're good to go. Take a look at our vol filter. Cool. We have positive volume on dynamic money flow here. And by the way, there are two, I think there's more than two, but there are two now dynamic money flow indicators on TradingView. So I'm pretty partial to this one, where if you go into the settings, there's just the ability to input period. However, the newer one does seem like it has some cool features. So I think those features look slick and cool, but I have not really tested it or looked at the maths to see if it's the same thing. Just throwing that out there because that came up. All right, so anyways, we're good. And then, of course, we look for a baseline confirmation. We don't really have any mitigating factors here. Okay, so entering that long there, let's assume that we took 50% profit at TP1 and then updated our stop loss to break even. Well, we would have taken initial profits relatively early, around 9,800. Totally fine. Entry at 9,600. It's a good trade. And we would have held that all the way until yesterday, and taking profits at 11.45. And again, I know many individuals that this is where they're going to attempt to optimize. And I think that when you are a proficient trader of a PTP system or any kind of systems approach, as long as you have firmly defined rules for how you trade and how you take profit and move stop losses and all of the things that really matter when you get into trading, I tend to notice that individuals want to optimize things like, well, what if I set my trailing stop ATR to this, or what if I take profit here instead, or what if I use this split, this exit split, all of that stuff is, in my opinion, absolutely worthless to optimize, to even consider looking at, if you don't have your basic nuts and bolts taken care of, which is building an indicator system which identifies good trends in the market. Right? People, it's amusing to watch. I see people, optimizing their take profit strategy, and I take a look at their indicators, and they're terrible. I'm like, man, you're going to signal like every 4 days, and half of them are wrong. Yeah, but if I could just be more efficient on the profit take, and I bet this strategy just do me well. No, that's not how PTP works. There are amazing indicators that just work well out of the box. And then you go through and utilize our process to clean those indicators up and make them better and better and better, and start to develop a comprehensive framework around which we will utilize these indicators. All right. So time transformation, one of our proprietary indicators, did give the exit signal. That is a part of the Donchian system. However, that is, really all we have to do is on the daily kind of take a look at previous Bitcoin bullish trends. And we can see that time transformation, it's what's the word I'm looking for here? It's what the sky is falling, or like danger caller, or I'm not sure. I think there's like some kind of children's parody that I'm trying to quote here. Basically, obviously it's Chicken Little. I think, the sky is falling, and if you or no, the little boy who cried wolf. That's what I'm kind of referencing. So we'll see here. Let's just take a look at the last one when we had a little bit, not a little bit, but we had a pretty nice pump following the March meltdown. So just this huge rapid ascent, V-bottoming out of the correction following the March meltdown. So we see that we get 3 exit signals on the daily, like pretty close together. These are with the default settings of time transformation. So one on the 30th of April, one on the 3rd of May, and one on the 8th of May. And yes, so all of those were very good areas to take profit. But let's take a look at another decent example. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to pick apart my own indicators, and I'm looking at the chart, and they're pretty good. Pretty good. Better than most out there. All right, so yeah, so we have time transformation signaling an exit here, and then we kind of cool off for a little bit. We do put in another leg, and this doesn't look like much because it is, but those are big percentage movements, okay? Very, very, very much worth your time to be trading. And of course, time transformation is pretty good at selling relative tops. That's what it's designed to do. But here's one, and here's one, and here's one, exit signals, that is. And here's one. Not the best, because you do almost get immediate continuation. Then it catches a top, pulls back, boom, and that's about it. And then you kind of get a early warning signal. Now, see, I'm not gonna lie, that one would have chapped my hide a little bit. Okay, that one would have chapped my hide a little bit. Again, we do get a profitable movement, so you want to be aware of that negativity bias. You cannot win them all, but looking at that one, that one's one to be a little salty over, right? You finally, kind of similar to what happened with Bitcoin. Actually, to be quite honest, this is 2019. I apologize. So we have that kind of blow off top in June of 2019, and then price just kind of cratered and eventually culminated in the March meltdown of 2020, where price went almost to 3,000. People talk right now on crypto Twitter about the concept of Bitcoin going to 2,000. And listen, while anything is possible, I think that that already happened, and that was the March meltdown. And furthermore, like, to get price that low as it went on BitMEX, for example, BitMEX, which is the largest exchange by volume in the entire cryptocurrency market. So you are literally talking about potentially the most significant player in the game, developing Bell's palsy, right? Like instant paraplegic, useless exchange, ceased to function as a rational exchange. Okay. That is a big ice cube. By the way, unrelated success tip for life. Get a non-stick muffin pan. Do not use a regular, do not use a non-stick muffin pan, or you may potentially get in a fight with your friend. Use a non-stick muffin pan and fill it up with water, preferably reverse osmosis water is the best water. Go Culligan. And make your own hockey puck ice cubes. They will keep your drink colder longer. They are cool conversation starters, and they do not water down your drink because they melt much slower. All right. Okay. So with kind of what I was trying to point out with time transformation was that there are multiple ways to use this indicator as I've developed it. Probably one of the most efficient, if we're talking about just optimizing how much of the rally we typically get to sell, is going to be divergence, right? Time transformation has a very good divergence system, and you can wait 2 candles for time transformation's algorithm to print the divergence, or you can wait 1 candle, because by definition, a candle with a lower high on one side and a lower high on the other is a swing high, right? That is the definition of a high. And you need a high to be put in, which means you need a candle to close, and you need a candle to close lower than that. That is by definition a high. Doesn't mean it's going to last or continue to be a high, but that is enough to make a play, to make a trade based on divergence, right? Market divergence, which is with time transformation potentially making a lower high while price actually makes a higher high. This would be regular bearish divergence, for example. And I do have a video on YouTube. Cannot speak to the quality. I'm sure it's a good video, but it was so long ago. About trading divergence on Bitcoin. All right, so let's. I'm like, all right, man. Can you just jump to today on Bitcoin and tell us what you think it's going to do now? Sure, I think numbers going to go up. All right. I do not think that movement here or action is most likely going to be statistically significant or going to be justified. So, for example, there are no continuation signals. So I do not see a good objective reason to add a risk to my trade from a PTP lens. From a discretionary standpoint, listen, you just had a pretty big correction in Bitcoin's price, and price is, you're not buying at a high. This is a pullback. Doesn't mean it's the last pullback. Doesn't mean that there is not another red candle lurking around the corner. But if Bitcoin is going to rally here, and I do believe that it's going to, it is, look at the chart, then any kind of opportunity you get to buy Bitcoin cheaply is going to pay dividends in the future. So, there you go. Do not recommend individuals applying leverage officially yet at this point in time. There are safe ways to increase one's trade. And in fact, if I had to recommend a strategy to do this, it would be scaling in, right? It would be scaling in to a position, which I cover in the BitMEX 201 video. That's kind of a bonus feature tutorial. It's at the end of that video. Rather than, and this is an alternative approach to scaling out of your trade with take profits. In this method, what you actually do is, following your initial entry, as you hit your take profit levels, you actually buy more, for example, okay? And this ensures that as price rallies and you approach either your penultimate or your final take profit target, yes, you're talking to an individual that knows the definition of the word penultimate, second to last. As you approach those final profit targets, you will actually have acquired a larger position. So with the idea, what Chewy says, can you be sure about your own existence? Well, if we can't, then that would be a stopping point for many of the funnest conversations. So we're just going to go with We're just going to go with René Descartes on this one, and I believe I'm quoting him correctly. I think, therefore I am. Yeah, I believe that's the brain in the tank analogy there. So we're just going to go ahead and assume that we objectively exist. Now we can have a conversation. Okay. So on the daily time frame, we have good confirmation of an established uptrend. We just had a pullback and potentially a buying opportunity. However, I do not see anything on an objective PTP signal level. I will update you guys when I do. All right, let's look at our roadmap for Bitcoin's price here. And yeah, if you guys are new viewers, yes, we do go deep here. Why was the show an hour later? Will this be the norm from now on? No, it will not be the norm. You know, listen, guys, I'm only human. I wake up one day, I wake up every morning and I jump double-legged into my pants with an apparatus that I've developed. So we're just a little running behind this morning on the market and getting into the office. These things happen. You guys are free to egg my car. It is not the truck. It is the Honda Civic, the humble Honda Civic out there. So looking at the overall roadmap, so we're going to be incorporating elements of classical technical analysis here and lines, which I associate with what people call chartistry. So basically, how do we put this? Like non-government sanctioned art class is typically what chartistry is. Sorry. We were consolidating with Bitcoin's price in a rectangle top formation. I do like rectangle tops. I do like to take action based off of them. And so I did provide my analysis and my setup for this. And we have hit my measured move target, which I was pretty vocal about, at 11,327. In fact, overperforming that quite a bit. So I do have, let's actually look at them. So we can kind of take the rectangle top downside target off of the chart. We're not going to, because if we do experience throwback here, then although being strictly correct, there's no such thing as throwback now. Like we've hit the profit target, right? We had a rectangular consolidation and we made a move equal to one range of the entire range. Now I was relatively conservative in measuring my range. So again, not range high, not range low, but generalized support and resistance, a measurement of that. So instead of actually measuring like, oh man, look, we wicked all the way down here and then wicked all the way up here. That's going to be my measurement. This would be about almost 30%. No, what I did was a more generalized method, which is what Bolkowski himself actually recommends. And we get actually 15. And maybe that's why I tend to hit my take profit targets. And anyways, their stop loss is, you know what? Let's play that. Just a second. Roll the let's see here. Jamie, roll the tape. All right, let's see if this works. Let's go. Yeah. Yep. Getting real up in here. I hope those gold coins weren't raining forever. Okay. It is times like this that I do feel like I need some assistance in studio. All right. So let's reach out to some of our team members. We're gonna get Jack and junior analyst Jason on the stream. See what they think about the markets, and perhaps to rein me in a little bit before I get you guys spending all of your birthday money. So give us 1 second. We'll be right back. We're gonna get the guys on the chart. While we're waiting on that, I'm not just going to leave you guys on hold. I am going to give you guys a little bit of advice. So we trading cryptocurrency is wild and real. I don't really have better, more elegant words to put it. However, in that wild and realness, please do me a favor and trade on a legitimate exchange. There are so many things that can go wrong in crypto trading, just as in all things. That the one thing you do not need to go wrong is like the exchange that you're using. You do not want to get an email talking about how there's been a breach and your coins might potentially be affected. No, just side skip all of that, right? just like earlier, we talked about sometimes you're going to have to miss out on opportunities and trade setups. Well, guess what? Sometimes you're going to have to not trade on exchanges that give you access to a particular coin. Who cares? Screw that coin. That coin doesn't even like you as much as you think it does. Use legitimate exchanges. You're going to make far more money, in my opinion, because I do. Focusing on the large cryptocurrencies, on the daily time frame, on the high liquidity exchanges, right? So your Binances, your KuCoin, excuse me. I very much have to pull back from saying KuCoin there. Huobi, Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Bybit. And that's what we're talking about. So I only recommend products and services that I use. I use Bybit every single day, right? Now, you might be able to explain to me or even provide a compelling argument that FTX or FEMX, or although you will be objectively wrong, BitMEX might be a better exchange than Bybit. But I am just telling you, as honestly as I possibly can, that since I began trading almost all of my leveraged positions on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and EOS on Bybit, I have made more money, more profit from my trades than I had previously on different platforms. Now, I don't know if that is the best correlation in the world. I know that it is objectively true. I don't know, a pretty huge fan of Bybit, right? They have taken care of things that other exchanges have not taken care of. They have amazing customer support, and they give you free money. So it's not a whole lot, but if you guys want to trade on the exchange that I recommend, go trade on Bybit. It is certainly, I think, and people say, well, they offer leverage. That's not the exchange that you want to recommend to novice traders. No, it is. It is. It actually is. Learn the responsible use of leverage and learn how to harness that early on in your trading, so you can avoid, being a speckled lemon later on. A speckled lemur later on, because lemurs all tend to follow one direction. Anyways, so we're gonna watch a video here that Jason put together, and when we come back, I will have hopefully Jason and Jack. Perfect. Can't catch a break over on BitMEX with all the wicks? Try a better alternative at bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com and rest easy for a change. All right, just a second. As usual, Cracking Cryptocurrency status, I forgot the microphone cable that I need. So just a second. Trying very hard to. There we go. Okay, now the microphone is no longer routing into my headphones, which is good. Now let's get Jason and Jack on. Just a second. By the way, you guys are the best audience. I feel like the average YouTuber, the average Zoomer, certainly wouldn't have the patience and generosity that you guys show. So listen, why don't you guys give yourself a huge hand? It takes a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot to come here day after day and listen to this. Listen to me talk about magical internet money for about 2 hours a day. Though those of you who have been riding it out with us for quite a while, you know the method to the madness. Chat. There we go. Okay, got chat there, and then my global setting. There. Okay. All right, so let's try this. Jack, Jason, I believe I have you guys. How are you doing this morning?
Fantastic. How you doing?
Doing good. How's it going?
Good. All right, cool. I have both of you. Let's boost your volumes irresponsibly up to 200 here on Discord. And
I shouldn't be that low, but okay.
I'm always that low.
well,
I'll fix your mic after the show. Don't worry.
unlike the price of Bitcoin, guys. So, Jason,
like we've been saying.
Yeah, like we've been saying. Jason, let's go to you while I kind of fine tune the audio settings. What's your general bias about the marketplace this morning, particularly Bitcoin, and is there anything that you kind of have your eye on or are interested in?
Overall, let's face it, we're in a bull market. Like, look at what happened over the weekend. But I think everyone that's looking to try to short this out of the first movement down, I think you went over this and it was something that me and you were talking about before the show. It's like, it doesn't make any damn sense that everyone just wants to get in there here and short a bull market. I mean, there was that one quote that you said, what was it? A stupidly bullish person.
Let me think of the words that I used. I believe essentially what I had said was, if you're running across people that are very, very aggressive about the idea that Bitcoin has to collapse, we're going to zero, we're going to go very low, we're going to have this massive correction, and they keep putting on shorts, it's kind of like asking yourself when you see that crazy homeless person who's standing in the middle of the street with a speaker to the heavens, and you ask yourself, like, man, maybe, just maybe, they do know something that I don't. No, they don't. They don't know anything you don't know. They're just standing there with a speaker lifted to the heavens for no good reason.
They just have more conviction in their ideas than you do.
Right. That's the only difference here. It's the only separating factor.
It doesn't pay to be bearish or perma-bear in the bullish market, basically, guys.
And yourself.
And you could be basically, I think Justin put it before, ignorantly bullish in the bullish market, and you'll make away like a bandit versus somebody who's maybe strategically bearish. Yeah. You don't want to be that guy. Just for God's sake, hodl and ride this wave up. There's going to be maybe a few dips along the way, but I think this is it, and I'm hoping this is, I think, what the community, I think, is trying to accept, is that this is that, guys. Like, put on your moon boots. That 20K thing is finally going to materialize in front of us. That all that, all the post-halving moonshot talk, it might be finally coming here. So to a portfolio near you. So you guys get your moon boots strapped in.
Coming soon to a portfolio near you. Unlimited gains.
One of the things that I wanted to point out, and I think it's important, especially for the way we trade and the way I trade almost predominantly now, is systems based. And like all these people wanting to go out and see what all these other people think and see what the news says and stuff like that. But if you build your own system, what you're going to find out is you don't need any of that stuff. None of it. Just follow your system after you back tested it, and then guess what? News will follow. Why do you think we're in that MCO? Like MCO is blowing up all over the place right now from this whole little news scandal that we're going to get into. But we were in that well before it, and look at it. The system gave us a go. We took it with the required amount of risk, and it paid out for us. And now everyone's going to go all freak out like, oh, but it's got to go again. We're already out of it. So like if you just follow your systems, you don't need any of this stuff. And right now what the systems are saying is don't touch the short button. That, like Justin said it earlier, when you're in a bull market, don't look for shorts, man. Look for oversold conditions to get back in for continuation. And that's what I'm looking for now. Fortunately got out at 12K, and then we saw the dip down, which I don't feel bad at all for missing, because guess what? We're in a bull market. It gives me a chance to buy more Bitcoin. So now what we just need to be looking for is continuation. And that's why, like right now, I'm more so looking at the 4 hour to see if we can get that call. But
Yeah,
I'll
like-
do anything until I get it.
Yeah, I feel like while we were under 10K, I wouldn't blame you for being short happy and shorting every pump. But now that we've kind of breached 10K and decisively, now we almost hit 12.
If you're
We're
new
still
to this
above
market,
11.
just go back and look at 2017. Watch
Yeah.
how fast that stuff ramps up.
Exactly,
Don't
and that's why I
think that
really
this
wouldn't
thing
want to
just
be
needs
shorting
pull
it.
back. Yeah.
Based on my experience then, that's precisely why I wouldn't want to be on the short side of this thing.
And if I may, listen, it's not, I don't want to be just all, heavenly buckets of wealth and unlimited gains here. Like, guys, as I've said multiple times throughout the stream, we do not have access to some indelible font of knowledge from the future. What we are saying is that, or at least what I'm saying is, I've been doing this long enough that, these really nice, these rallies, these prolonged, sustained, very powerful, momentum-based rallies occur on cryptocurrency, unlike, very, very uniquely, very differently from how I've seen them. I've seen very bullish rallies and kind of bullish seasons proceed and unfold in front of me in other asset classes. Although, of course, I have seen bullish rallies in stocks, traditional equities, Forex, commodities, example. Yeah, there are ways to make sure that you are in a position to prosper and profit off of the prices of cryptocurrency generally moving up, which, by the way, is shorthand for BTC USD moving up, and do so in a safe, methodical, and patient way that allows you to, really enjoy this movement, right? And of course, we're going to get to the end of this. We're going to get to the end of this rally. And listen, guys, some of us have been waiting for this for almost 3 years, right? So it's about time. It's been a long, cold winter for a lot of individuals.
Yeah, just to be clear, like I'm not saying everybody, mortgage the house and go all in on BTC right away.
No,
Yes,
you go ahead.
bullish.
You go ahead and recommend that. That allows me to.
We're fundamentally bullish for sure. But that's not to say that after several green candles in a row, we had a little bit of a flash crash there on the weekend. But it's not to say that we might not see a little bit of a dip, a little bit of retracement. Ethereum might still see below 300 again, and Bitcoin might need to touch below 10 at some point. But I think what I'm getting at is that there has been a little bit of a sentiment change in the crypto, at least in the majors like Bitcoin space in the last little while. And let's just say the hills are alive with the sound of hopium. So I am still firmly strapping in those moon boots.
So I apologize because I've tried to had music done playing here for at least this entire conversation. But Winamp, which normally whips the llama's ass, is not doing any whipping today. In fact, if anything's getting whipped, it's Winamp. All right, let's try one more time. Okay, device not found. Okay, I can deal with that. Options, preferences, configure output device. And we want you to go out music. Okay. Try again. There we go. All right, if the music is too loud, make sure you guys let me know. Turn it on. Crap, I just did that. Midwest attempts to crack. Should I call my loan officer and cancel the application? Listen, at the end of the day, I'm sure that you need all of those new additions to your dining room. Look, man, I will never get on board. You will never hear me recommend that anybody do anything objectively not a good idea. And something that is objectively not a good idea is me ignoring GBU Wally's
Super chat.
yeah, super chat. Let's see here what he said.
Hating.
Probably. He says, "Sheesh, buy that guy a real microphone, please. Wally, my brother." I think it has less to do with the quality of the microphone and more the user. So can we just lambaste Jason here and not the microphone?
I get it.
I promise this will be his last appearance on the show with his mic in this condition. I promise.
I put my life on it. All right.
I did my best.
Let's look at, all right, so we already looked at the trade of the day, MCO-USDT, and we gave our opinion on Bitcoin. Ethereum kind of goes without saying that broadly we're going to be painting with the same strokes here, with the same brush strokes. So Ethereum as well, reaching the measured movement of the rectangle top formation, as well as generating a long signal on any PTP system known to man here. If you were not in an Ethereum long, I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's look at
If you haven't got a signal on one of your systems by now, it is a bad system.
the bad system. Or maybe just doesn't like Ethereum. But GBU Professor Wally, hey, thank you. Sorry, thank you for that $50. I am going to go ahead and order Jason a better microphone today with that $50. Obviously, I have to throw in a little bit more, but I'm going to go ahead and get the man a nice Yeti. Let's start there.
Isn't that a thing that keeps your water cold?
It does do that. It is also a stylish device that looks similarly to this, and certainly served me very, very well as an initial microphone for probably the first year or two of the stream.
Oh yeah.
All
Those
right,
are dope.
dope they are, my friend. So excited. All right.
Makes by Monday.
See,
You the man, Wally.
it's time to call grandma and be like, I told you I was gonna make it. Okay. So again, Ethereum not generating any objective signal today, but certainly still holding the long position. I think individuals had an opportunity to reaccumulate relatively close to this baseline, which is super trend V1.0. Raythod Combe. I think that's right. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, my friend. Any CC Yetis? Like the ones that actually do keep your drink cold? No, as I said, like clearly the condensation is real over here. I'm drinking a very large Ernie Ball mason jar. But that's the thing. The best drinks are drunk out of mason jars.
Can't argue with that. You've seen my place. All I got is mason jars.
Mm-hmm. You know, some people, you understand this. Alex Baller, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube as well. You guys can do this. If you guys aren't subscribed, just like let it just roll in.
Just give it a shot.
Just give it a shot. Yeah, you can always back out.
You're gonna make more money listening to us than just listening to no one. So
I will listen. I've been doing this long enough to where I know when I tell people that if they just follow the system, they will do okay. They will do better than most. Mm-hmm. But what I can say about the live stream is, if you guys turn on all notifications, which I'm gonna need you guys to do like right about now, just go ahead and try it. Enable all notifications. You will certainly have a good time along the road. Call the haters. That is bleep. Hold on, actually I can do this one. And see, I got my mixer all the way over here now. But T-Dub says that is vodka. Man, it is not. It is not vodka. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what this is? This is a Rockstar Recovery. It's like green apple and something like sour green apple. It is not water. It is an energy drink, which I rarely drink, but it is good. All right. Yes, la la la. Thank you so much. You were waiting out there in the weeds. I can just feel it. Yees. I'm actually going to pronounce it like yees. La 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 la. Honor to have you subscribed. All right. We talked about Bitcoin. We talked about Ethereum. Things are relatively good. And again, let me point out that it's really a good time to be a trend following trader. Everybody's just kind of running around, or not everybody, certainly not our crew. We're very relaxed, very patient. We've been, just having an incredible month of trading. Just watching the systems, watching the trades unfold in front of us. Really good morale among the analysts, really good time enjoying trades. It's just a good market cycle to be in. So as you kind of need to be on point, you certainly need to bring your best discipline with you to prosper in a bear market. In a bull market, you just kind of need to be in the room and do all right.
Just kind of sit around, make sure you just let your runners run and just kind of sit back, man.
You could be the kid grabbing donuts for everybody and coffee. Like, hey, that's where you need to be.
Just come and whisper in people's.
It's reverse osmosis water. That stuff is poison. Stun gun, I agree. Most things are, but it is decent poison in small doses.
I remember in 2017, I thought I was a genius trader too. I figured this would be the new career. How could this be any easier? How could I get day trading earlier? But it's easy when you catch that big wave and you ride it all the way to the top. You feel like a genius every time. Hell, you guys was putting on losing trades nonstop, and my portfolio was still booming. So hell yeah, I felt like a freaking genius.
That's Jack's glowing recommendation. Like, listen, Justin. Or this gentleman's trades fail all the time, but I still make money. It's crazy. It's incredible. 60% of the time, it works every time. All right, let's get into my schedule. Somebody's got to keep us on track here. Crypto Daily. Looking for. All right, so we did Bitcoin, Ethereum. My highlight. Yeah, so this is an opportunity for me to pluck a trade out of the ether here, one of my open trades. So let's go over here and look at my open trades. MCO-USDT is not one. Let's see here. Lisk is actually closed. So let's actually do kind of a lightning round highlight before we look at some weekly data here. So this is going to be the blue list. These are trades that I've recently closed out, and we can talk about them. Let's see here. So not Vet, Doge, Link, SPX. No, those are all old. Yeah. So let's just start here with GXS USDT. GXS USDT was a decent trade that we put on. Not a massive gain out of this one. Let's take a look actually at the.
ACH and EOS were banger trades that closed over the weekend and trailing stop.
Yeah.
Off that big dump.
I'm doing a nice strategy here called leading with your lemons. It's not a good strategy. Let's see here. Okay, pulling up July's results. I haven't actually published these. I apologize. I have not published in the historical results folder in our Google Drive July's results. I have them all done, but for some reason, Adobe Acrobat is the program that I utilize to compile the end-of-month trading results that look very clean that you guys are used to seeing. Do that every single month. And for some reason, I was having trouble utilizing the optimized PDF. It's called, I can't think of what you call that. Pre-flight. Using pre-flight to adjust the size of the pages. So now that I've restarted my computer a few times and given my CPU a good stern dressing down, maybe it'll work. So I'm looking forward to publishing those tonight. But you guys will see a little bit of a preview here. So here are 2020 and July. Come on now. And journal. We'll just do close trades. Doing my best here, guys. Okay. PDF, so we're rasterized here. All right, so here were my trading results for the month of July. This is just my personal portfolio. This is raw trade ROI, so keep in mind that 139.41 is not reflective of my actual NAV growth. Let's see here. I will show you that number. As soon as I change that song that we were listening to. Okay. You guys don't hear music?
Oh, well, no, sorry. I'm not listening to the stream because it's a little delayed, so I probably won't hear it. Never mind.
GVU Professor. Oh, okay. We have a we got an altcoin shiller. Sir, please reserve the shilling of altcoins for the I don't know, last 30 minutes. The appropriate time for shilling. All right, so let's find this GXS USDT. I apologize. I know it's on here somewhere. There it is. Okay. So my position size was decently sized for this one. About 40% of my equity ended up going into this trade. And I only pulled about 2.85% out of this. So I do believe this was a pretty quick movement to take profit one and then price pull back and hit our break-even stop loss. And, just kind of a point here. I do feel kind of compelled to say something about this because there is one of our members who's been with us for a while. And I guess I don't even want to say that. There's been an individual in our community, in the Kraken cryptocurrency community for quite a while. And I'm not going to name any names, but he has not had the best results with his trading. And when I speak to this individual, listen, not to make him feel bad or any of the usual things, but usual suspects when we're talking about something just not going the way you planned, right? Are you putting in the work? Are you following the rules? Are you putting in the hours? Are you putting in the time? Have you done this, and this? And if the answer to those things are no, it's very hard to, right there. That is why you're not getting the results that you want. Have you done everything that you're supposed to do? If the answer is no, then we can stop looking for suspects, right? We do not need to hypothesize who broke into the house.
Got it on CCTV.
Now, what I want to say is that I've heard a complaint about a lot of trades that go to TP1 and then hit the break-even stop loss. While I could consider, by the way, thank you, Ravi Rina, for the sub on YouTube. While I could be frustrated if I were to have a string of trades that went to TP1 and then pulled back to my entry position and exited with a stop market order with my break-even stop loss, which is the way we do things. I'm just going to go ahead and be grateful and really appreciate the win that I just had, right? Like I made money. Wasn't as much as I could have made, but I made money out of a position when most individuals would have lost money because I know exactly where to take profit. Doesn't mean that it's the best place to take profit, but I do know where to take profit and how to take profit in a way that guarantees. And here's the thing. You're going to, if you're a trend following trader, you are going to eventually get into asymmetric runner positions that you want to be in. For example, if Bitcoin or Ethereum here run, or any of the major alts run, you want to be in that trade. You want to be in that as long as possible. And the only way you're going to do that, the only way you're going to stay in that trade for a long enough period of time that your wins, that your profits do become truly asymmetric. Like for example, I'm talking, triple digit trades, 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x. Those are all trades that I've experienced and that I've seen individuals experience in cryptocurrency, right? We are talking about assets that can move that much. You have to be willing, I guess, TP1, break even stop loss. Maybe that's the price you pay to be able to take the winning trades. But,
It is, and if you keep sticking to that over time, you're gonna find out that the runners more than make up for the ones that you end up getting wicked out back on at break even. And with this style of trading, you can also relax. Like, you don't have to watch it, man. Like, all these other people that get on, they're like, oh, but I'm glued to the charts all day because I don't want to miss something, and I like to not put a stop loss on to not get wicked out, but if I'm there, I can get out of it if I need to. I'm like, you're wasting so much of your own time and energy doing that. Like, you're gonna end up better off mentally, physically. You're gonna sleep more. Like, it's just not a healthy way to do it.
Yeah. It is an overall terrible way to live life. I could not imagine, for example, a few more. Alex Bowler says, "Call me a scam. I call you a scam. You have disrespected me in your own chat room. It's unforgivable." Sorry, man. Hey, Alex, my friend, if you are, I don't know what's going on here. Who pays these moderators?
I don't know.
Two moderators on the stream, and they're like, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, I was a little bit more worried about my bit rate. I don't know.
I think Alex is a regular, and he might be talking something legit. Yeah, sometimes coins get distributed and all that, but end of the day, we live in the world of YouTube comments where there's a lot of scams, a lot of people offering coins and too good to be true deals. So Alex, you might be legit, you might be trying to post something legit, but really this stuff never goes over well because of what I just described.
Free money.
So if you do want to pitch your coin, bro, hit us up in the Discord, jump in the members lounge. Make your pitch there, let people know, but I'm just telling you, just kind of name dropping a coin and saying we're giving it away or whatever is not gonna win you any friends. And so I'm trying not to moderate him too hard, but yeah, no excessive shilling, please.
All right, let's thank you, Jack. That is very, very good. And if that's not sufficient, we will have Jason come in with the water guns. And
I got a super soaker, baby.
Water guns and French tickler. We don't know what's going to be more terrifying. All right, so let's go through a few of these questions. S180XT says, I managed to lose money on trends before always trying to fade it. Yeah, and what's interesting for me is that when I traded equities, I was primarily a reversal trader. I faded breakouts, and I used Tom DeMark indicators to do so. TD sequential being one of them, TDST lines or TD setups, also CLOP and some other technical indicators of his as well. So Tom DeMark is pretty well known in the industry. What he does now is similar to what Dr. John Ehlers does, and I had the pleasure to sit down and interview Dr. John Ehlers. If you guys are watching the show and you would like to really round out, my list of achievements, the things that I've been able to say, yeah, I did that. Again, my own personal list that I am compiling, thanks to Sarah, we'll not list her last name, who refused to go to prom with me in high school, told me I wasn't going to amount to anything. That's cool, man. Sarah, when I see you at the 20-year reunion, I got to interview Dr. John Ehlers. It may not mean anything to you, but he's kind of a big deal. Let's see here. I forgot the point, so we'll just end on that rant. Okay, I'm sorry. The point was, if somebody wants to reach out to Tom DeMark on our behalf, would absolutely love to interview him. All right, so Alex Baller was saying, so funny, seems like no one wants free LTK. Giving away 1 million of them. Only 10 people here are going to get them, 100K each. Yeah, so here's the thing, man. Not good, what's the word I'm looking for? Protocol? Yeah, I mean, you don't come into another man's live stream and start shilling your coin. Yeah, you just don't do that. So, if while I will not call you a scam, I will call you rude. So, yeah. So you can get right out of here with that. Forget you and LTK. Do not want your free stuff. There's no such thing as free nothing. Everything is opportunity cost or time loss or necessity to learn. There's no such thing in life that's free. Literally, to breathe air, I have to, ingest free radicals that are slowly destroying my body, right? Or insert your definition of how oxygen actually works to, telomeres work to kill the body eventually. All right, so to draw breath, I have to sacrifice my long-term sustainability on the planet. So. Okay. Not no more since use of the baseline. Thanks, Kraken Crypto. Big respect. Thank you, S180XT. Jack never energy drinks, but I do espresso at least once a day. Good man. Good man. Energy drinks are for weekend traders, weekday traders, coffee and water. Now, while I totally agree with you, it is possible but the weekday vibes are still, you know, lingering here in the Kraken Cryptocurrency office. Fifth Ronin, hey, good to see you, my friend. S180XT says, I like a 6-pack of beer. Who doesn't, man? Andrew, where would I look to put leverage on? I feel like the only way is to put orders on and try to catch a wick. I mean, we're just going to go out there and we're just going to use the birdshot approach, right? We're just going to fire some limit orders at that thing and hope for the best.
Fire some orders at the thing.
So listen, the place to apply leverage is on a setup that you can objectively backtest with your system, right? With whatever your backtesting, what's the word I'm looking for here? Mechanism tends to be, whether that's manual or strategy tester or some system, some methodology where you can identify objective statistics and really see how something performs over time. And you know through experience or historical results of how that setup comes about, what the actual entry triggers are, and you go from there. So right now, the setups that I would recommend are going to be a continuation trade in your system. We obviously, our proprietary indicators will signal for those at recommended times. So time transformation, minks, parallax, these are all indicators that can generate continuation signals because they are designed to work concurrently with a trend. Or on a reversal baseline bounce. The other type of setup that I would recommend or actively look for in this current market conditions, like where we're at with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So again, waiting and taking advantage of a pullback. And, you know, we have quite a bit, I don't want to say quite a bit, but a very good instructional video that goes over the concept of reversal baseline bounces on the premium drive. So if you guys are premium members, make sure to go check that out. Let's see here. Cloudy Skies says, I just want to hodl. That reminds me of Yellow Wolf. Gotta think of a rhyme for that. You'll see the Kraken Crypto crew back on later tonight. We stacking Litecoin in the air. I'm certainly not gonna rap on stream. I won't do that to you guys. But I am slightly tempted. Cloudy Sky says, I know you're gonna bash me for that. You should assume less, sir, and think positive things more. Okay, now hold on. Let me read and see if we are gonna do some bashing. Cloudy Skies says, wait, how much did I make last month? Okay, so let's see here. So after you ask, wait, how much did you make last month? And I'm going to assume you're addressing me. You could be addressing someone else. I see here GBU Professor Wally, who's a on-point gentleman, says, if you're talking to CC, that would be me, we do publish our results on the website. Yeah. In fact, we probably publish the most comprehensive results that I'm aware of. And I say that, trying to be humble, but the things that we're good at here, we're good at. So again, our trading results that we publish every single month, we take a lot, I personally take a lot of time with every month's close. So if you're a personal friend of mine, or if you're on the team, you know that kind of the last 3 days, maybe the first 3 days of any new month, it's something out of Pink Floyd's The Wall. Definitely a little I'm not sure what the right word is. Say it. Agitatable. David Wendell, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. Let's see here. So after all that, you're like, well, you could just tell me. You know, not gonna lie, we are kind of the ethos around the community here is, you put in the work. So, but yes, so let me pull this up. I will do the painstaking process of telling you how much I made last month.
He just wants the juice, none of the squeeze.
Just the juice, man. Okay. Could we get zoomed in a little bit more here? All right, I have no snare in my headphones. Okay, so I made 2.79%, the quantity of Bitcoin. Oh, there goes my Bitcoin. Oh, not my real Bitcoin, just this I made 2.79% ROI on my BTC trades. This is actual growth of my NAV, my net asset value. So I have 2.79% more Bitcoin than I had at the beginning of July. 10.24% in USD value of my portfolio. So overall, pretty good growth, about 13% per month. That's quite good. That's quite good. However, because I held my capital split between stablecoins, USDT, and although I am beginning to experiment with, not even experiment, like pretty actively utilize alternatives to USDT when applicable. So obviously that is not something that's applicable on Bybit, where I do hold the majority of my wealth in US dollar tether, because I prefer to utilize the USDT contract. Whereas I actually currently am using the inverse perpetual for automation, for automated trades. But because I held a portion of my capital, 50% in this case, in BTC, I have an unrealized ROI or P&L of 26.56%. So if I were to sell all my Bitcoin, actually all my holdings at this point in time, I would have made about 35% that month. So good month. Yes, and we do. While we don't always get results like that, this is quite a good month. This is not too far out of the norm. And we have bad months to go along with that, and we try to objectively show that as well as we possibly can on the website. So, as to the quantity of dollars that I made, that is private. I do not reveal the quantity of money that I have. This is a display amount, so just started off, I think, at the beginning of the year with maybe 1 Bitcoin, and although the numbers here are just for reference, this can show you in P&L terms, like actual profit and loss. If you had started off with this much BTC, and you had started off with this much USD, this is what you could realize. Now, again, that's going to come down to your capital split, your hedging strategy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What you decide to hold your wealth in, and also kind of the strategy on how you want to grow your wealth. Do you just want to stack sats? I don't agree with that concept. I really don't. I think individuals should be growing their NAV in dollar terms, right? So as long as we still value Bitcoin in US dollars, I'm going to value my trading account in the same metric.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, from what he was describing about his trade or investment style, he kind of was more of the stack sats kind of guy and hodl gang.
Hodl gang.
Maybe the bottom feeder strategy that we publish and post signals with would be good. Guys who just kind of want a dollar cost average, but they want to get in at good prices. So maybe if you do join the group, I think you might want to consider for your style the bottom feeder that we've developed.
That's something that we talked about a little bit, and I wanted to get in with Justin probably after show at some point. But looking at using the bottom feeder algorithm as a type of DCAing thing, like rather than catching bottoms, because even if it doesn't go your way that time, you're just down a little bit. You're not losing anything in a leveraged trade or anything like that. So,
sorry, not to just let you say that and then completely ignore and not pick up on that thread, but I don't recall if I actually was sharing the screen, which is my results from July. So just in case I did not, let me flash that real quick. So again, this makes sense. So I apologize. I was referencing something that was on my screen visually that you guys weren't seeing. So this is what we call the journal header out of the trading journal. We do provide a trading journal for all our premium subscribers, which is very, very helpful. I'm very, very much an advocate of journaling and keeping objective track of your trading results. It is at 3:40 already. You guys are crushing it. I'm gonna say that we appear to be having a successful live stream. 220 concurrent viewers, 60 likes, $53 in revenue. That's gonna go toward buying Jason a microphone. So, and I don't believe I have ever asked for a super chat, but I'm going to be ordering that Yeti mic. If you guys want to own equity, you're not actually going to own equity, but you could say that you can. It'll be just as effective when you're telling your partner that
all your names on the mic.
That if you guys would like equity in Jason's semi-professional microphone.
Semi-professional.
Get him a HyperX Cloud Flight.
Yeah. What's that movie from? I think it's Talladega Nights, where Ricky Bobby's father goes, I am like a semi-professional tattoo artist and a race car driver. All right.
Don't forget to load up your transcript with today's show.
Sir, we are beyond good to go on that. I just need the signal. I just need the signal to get down on that. All right. So I will just continue scrolling here a little bit and highlight what I was talking about earlier. So again, this is the premium sheet. I obviously have my developers are very. Oh, we got Azriel in the chat. Oh, you guys are in for a treat. I mean, objectively, he may not say anything super awesome, but Azriel, good friend of the channel. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Good to see you back. Can I look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez shitcoin? Well, but once the Green New Deal, we're buying. All right. Just in case we weren't shadow banned yet. Okay.
That's not appear so yet.
Let me stop sharing this screen. Okay. I am not sitting naked by my phone, says Ron Legato. Okay. Whew.
You.
Dear student says, when back testing, what should I expect from a good trend following strategy? You should expect broadly to win more than you lose, and to have asymmetric to have probably a number that is less than 50 to 40% of, let's just call them like TP1 break even, but you want the largest quantity possible, like certainly a good handful at the very minimum of very, very asymmetric trades. That is a trade where you get an entry signal and you are allowed to ride that trend for a long time. But again, if you want objective statistics, these are the best practices that I recommend every single day for our traders. When you are picking indicators to utilize in an indicator-based system strategy, 60%. You want a hit rate, a percent profitability of 60%, meaning that 60% of the time, the indicator is correct, right? In regards of directional bias and actually entry trigger. You want improvements of 5% at the very minimum, each filter that you add to your system. So ideally, we're looking to start somewhere between the 55 to 60% range for what we're going to start with, and we would like to end at 75 to 80%. Very, very possible. Generally, these systems that I advocate individuals build for their first strategy are relatively conservative. They do not signal very frequently. You might only get a trade, once or twice a month, if that frequently. But you're going to catch the major movements, and that's what I want people to do. The way that we trade, this is not, again, I said this earlier, this is not a boys club for, the very high IQ individuals, although it does seem that way sometimes. What we're really doing here, people, if you have not picked up on it yet, we are, or I am actively, and I'm blessed enough to have, this merry band of awesome people that has come along and believes in what we're doing. I want individuals, no matter where they are, what they're doing, how smart they are, how dumb they are, to be able to prosper from what Bitcoin is doing. And again, there are other individuals doing this their own way, like in their own method of making the world a better place. So for example, met with Alex Gladstein, for example, at the San Francisco Blockchain Week 2019. He's involved with the Human Rights Foundation. He is certainly doing more than I am to make the world a better place from that perspective. And again, people always get a little when you're like, I'm going to help people better themselves by teaching them how to make money. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at. I'm a good trader. I've been able to make myself money and develop a pretty handsome and rewarding lifestyle and strategy. And you do not have to be anybody can do it, is the point, right? Anybody can do it. So, all right. Before you guys make me tear up here, 60% of the time it's correct every time, says Wally. Azriel says, was a long old wait, man. Looking to get the old rigs going, probably got to do a lot of dusting first. Sir, I know what you're talking about. I'm picking up what you're putting down. And listen, good luck, my friend. Billy from Manchester says, great show. Right on, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, he's dropping the big words. Phenomenal curriculum. Pathways to profit as delivered. Crypto Caveman letting us know that there is a live stream now. This is correct. We are live. Alex Ebersberger says, these Forex trades are so nice. Still going. I will just ignore the Aussie cat. Yes.
You're not going to win every trade, man. That's part of trading.
Crypto Caveman is driving in tarantula rain at the moment. I don't know what that means. It is, you know, it's not too often that I am. Yeah, it's not too often that I actually like stop and consider the words that I've just read on the screen. That was one of those moments. Tarantula rain. God, you know, listen, you know, insert deity of your choice here. Bless you, man. I hope for your speedy recovery, or a very efficient guide, or like, you know, travel guide, like local guide. I don't know. Maybe send up the flare, man. Call for help. Call in the Axe Gang. Let's see here. What, Jason? What do we got for requests, man? Have we got anything on the?
We do have requests. I know Ironback wanted to look at that AF ticker on the monthly time frame.
Oh yes, because he thinks it is bullish AF. You know, listen, I don't know that for sure. That is certainly an assumption. Willing to be wrong. Let's wait till we got our eyes on the chart.
Pretty easy guess at this point.
Okay. Well, hey Justin, you might look at AF is the ticker monthly time frame. All right, so Mr. Iron Cack, if you are still with us, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and narrow down exactly what you meant. So let's see if they're okay. Air France, Aeroflot, we've got futures. All right, let's see here. Holding out. Oh my, Pekamo is this. All right, so they're silent. Also talking about tarantula rain. What are you guys talking about?
I think they're saying torrential rain, maybe.
That's like Rick and Morty. Like, what's he say? We can't just take that for granted. Wait, what did you say? Did you just say we can't take that for granted? You mean granted? You've really been saying taking it for granted your whole life, you dumbass?
Just
I feel like
his memory, right?
I feel like oh, okay, listen, you guys are actually referencing Stranger Things, which I feel bad for not picking up on because that is my daughter's favorite show. So clearly, my 12-year-old daughter, not my 2-year-old. She's still into the Peppa Pig love. She doesn't really watch TV. Which I feel shows that I am at the right amount. I'm at that right level of knowing just enough about my daughter, and then also being like, yeah, your shows are you know, not. Listen, I like Stranger Things. All right, not enough to get the reference. All right, moving on. Apologies. Tarantula rain it is. We do not have a response from Iron Cack. So he has it's raining granite tarantula cats and dogs, and they're sleeping together. Absolute pandemonium.
All right. Well, if he is not in the house, then we will move on to Jordan.
Next.
Stop.
No, T-Dub. I see T-Dub. Or is this like super old?
Well, no, I was just going in the order. We have KNC BTC and SC BTC.
Oh, I don't see that. I'm on the audience engagement tab, and you're doing some funky stuff in Maine.
No, sometimes the formulas in the sheet.
It's
don't
all right.
send it over.
Jordan Stotts, Saya Coin. You know, it just every time I look at the Saya Coin chart, my first thought is always, well, it's not as high as it was when I was mining it back in 2017. Oh, those were the good old days. All right. Yeah, so good example of a chart that has pretty much just gone down in the macro. Let's look at the weekly here. And actually, this is a good opportunity to remove indicators here and add this one to my weekly analysis level. So let's grab information from Polonia. Yeah, this will probably go back the most to 2015. I'm going to take that. Consider that a W. All right. So currently Currently trading at 28 sats. Okay. Let's get a roadmap for price here. We're going to be using horizontal lines.
It's like the heartbeat of Craig Wright. Just about dead.
I'm Satoshi. Oh, darn it. That one didn't work. Okay, let's try this one. I'm Satoshi for real. OMG.
Ow, I'm gonna take it to court. Ow, no, I'm a liar.
All right. Craig, if you're watching, hashtag don't sue me, bro. I do not want to embarrass you in court. Because listen, I give the devil his due. Craig Wright is not a stupid individual. I do feel like
He does stupid things.
I'm a pretty good, listen, I am a pretty good conversationalist and debater. Because I prepare for debates. I prepare for hostile enemy territory. But it would be an interesting one. I kind of wonder how he would counter Dr. Wright. Thank you so much for taking the time. All right, my premise is that you are an absolute schmoly and a fraud. Can you please prove me wrong, sir?
I got another call coming in. I gotta go.
Yeah, sorry. What? The reception over here in, where are we at? Puerto Rico? Sir, wasn't that where that crypto capital? We don't talk about that. All right, so we are on the hunt for the triple sat values here on Siacoin. So we'll be pretty happy if we can just get back above 50 sats, honestly, right? So let's be grateful for what we do have and see what the crypto gods might be kind enough to give us. So for the last relevant history, we have been, let's just say, broadly accumulating and tentatively making higher lows and higher highs on the weekly time frame since closer to the end of August, when we seem to have bottomed out, right? And nobody wanted to believe it. It was a very long crypto winter, but lo and behold, Siacoin here, by the chin of its chin, it started to pull itself up. Higher highs on the weekly. We put in a lower weekly low here, or excuse me, a higher weekly low, followed by another higher weekly high. So if we want this to continue, we would be looking for another higher low on the weekly, and getting relatively close. There are lots of different methods to identify what that pullback should or could look like. And God help me, but I'm going to use something simple here and use a fib retracement. All right. So let's go from the last swing low to the newest swing high. And I'm pretty conservative, so I do not do this for my active trading, but this is helpful for, just identifying what's probably a good area. So again, I don't think there's anything magical about Fibonacci. In fact, I think it most likely hurts way more individuals that attempt to trade by these like magical rules of Fibonacci than actually helps. However, if something has retraced to the 786, that means definitionally that it has retraced 78.6% of its previous movement. Probably a good time to buy just in general if it's going to continue going up, right? If something's like pulled back 78.6%, the distance that it went forward, that is by definition a pullback, bro. So based on that, I kind of like Siacoin. We are entering into an area where we're going to make it or break it. We have an opportunity to form that higher weekly low. And yeah, I mean, this area right here would be perfect. Right around 23 sats would be perfect for me. And again, we can consider this. Let's see. Basically right where I have that. No, that's 20. We want to be a little bit more aggressive than that, I think. Just like right here. Let's buy that retest. Again, we have an order block formed here, so a lot of heavy sell side volume. This is also kind of the initiation level of the final, the last dump, the ultimate dump, the dump to end all dumps on Siacoin. When sellers across the world looked at each other and said, "Yeah, we're out of Siacoin. We can't sell it any lower." Let's see here. Do we have? I don't really like the rectangle bottom rules here, but I will say that I do see a potential Adam and Eve, and this is, in fact, I see a potential W bottom too. But these W bottoms tend to crop up quite a bit on crypto, and as well as people, mistakenly refer to these as cups and handles. So we'll just keep it very, very simple. don't want to get out above your out over your skis on chart patterns. Keep it very, very simple. So let's just call this an atom, and let's call this an E. Okay, very simple. So we're going to bring back a similar friend to the fib, but a trend-based fib extension, just so we can make a measured movement instantaneously. And the rules here per Bulkowski's Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns says measure in between the two patterns, measure the absolute low to the absolute high, which would be right here, because this is the highest the price trades in between the atom and the ETH. And then you want to measure the breakout point. So let's see here. Well, let's just assume price comes back down to our entry, and no, that's not fair. We got to measure from the breakout point. Can't be changing the rules all willy-nilly here. All right, so this right here. This is the candle that closed. Actually, it opened, so if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, we could do the candle that closed above that resistance. So 53 sats, like I said, that is a measured move. That is a one-to-one movement of the range that Siacoin put in. And this is going to be suggesting 53 sats. And if you'll recall, at the beginning of this analysis, brought to you by Chevy, not a sponsor, but could be. I said we would be pretty happy and pretty lucky if we can get above 50 sats. So that's where I'm going to look. I would like to see Siacoin get up above 50 sats, and then we can start to evaluate this to see if this is going to be something a little bit more sustained. So I do like where Siacoin's at. This is certainly not we go down to the daily and look for a PTP signal, and that is certainly a great way to catch this movement when it does happen. But zooming out, looking at all the information that we can kind of muster here on Siacoin, this is a pretty good looking chart when we're looking to pick up a discretionary long position. Jason, do you have anything that popped out of you there?
Not quite for SC. I mean, I can look at that from one of my systems real quick. But I like just looking at that from.
You're like, nah, I hate it, man.
Visually, no, I don't like. I think it's got more downside. I think that green box where you got marked out, that's a perfect point to be looking for a reversal in that you can use that lower boundary low as a stop loss, which is a much better risk to reward ratio than taking it here, because I think you get nothing but downside from here. Yeah,
I do not. Well, you could, I guess, depending on the trader that I was talking to, I could see like, well, okay, we're gonna put 20% in of our trade here, and then just kind of DCA in. It's a low sat. Yeah.
Yep.
There's certain ways we can do that. All right, let's go to T-Dubs, Kyber Network, BTC. Let's keep it pumping. KNC BTC. All right, David Monroe, and I think I already gave a shout out to David Wendell. Thanks for the sub on YouTube, guys. Just so you guys are aware, we are part and parcel, fully fueled by YouTube likes and subscriptions. So if you see me begin to collapse in my chair, being drained of nourishment, guys. We don't ask for much. Just smash the like button. It helps us out more than you know. And again, being aggressive is the only way we can get YouTube to not shadow ban us, because that has been a significant issue. So we're just going to need you guys to really just link marine it up, right? You're just going to have to get gangster with us and let these people know that we got a strong community, and we're not going down like that.
That's going to be a shirt.
You do that.
Get gangster with us.
Just get gangster with us, man. Just put the trades on. Have faith in yourself. Understand that you got this. Right? On the 1 week, oh my dear Lord. He's like, man, Kyber Network on the weekly? I was not. He's like, honestly, man, that's too long of a time frame. I'm not really looking for that kind of commitment with Kyber Network.
I don't like the future.
Right.
I need the now.
I was kind of looking for, like a, I'm not sure Kyber Network is, the right coin, but it might be the right coin, or it might be the right coin right now. If we could just go down to that 15-minute chart, how's it look, over the next? Oh, let me see here. It's a Monday. It's a Monday, and I haven't drank since Friday. About 45 minutes. Okay. So it is important that we look at the weekly chart so we can kind of see overall what's going on. Clear as mud. Kyber Network's about So we're on Binance here. So let's go to KNC. I think that's where we're going to get the best information, but we can look at this on Bitfinex. Oh, well, that is quite a different chart. Let's see here. Let's do our due diligence. All right. So 2017. Okay, Bitfinex, you lose. Coinbase, nope, you lose. You lose, sir. Good day. No takebacks, no backsies. Poloniex, nope. NCUSD as calculated by TradingView goes back to about the same date. Okay, cool. So let's pull up KNCUSDT on Binance on the daily. And we'll look at KNC BTC here on the weekly. All right. He says, I trade spec way too much. It is, in fact, it is objectively unhealthy. S180XT asks, can we look at Cardano, please? Or Divi? Either one. Happy with either. Yeah, sure. T-Dub says, my bot is still sitting at 53 from a few weeks ago. Well, then... the question here is, can we get that recovery rally so that we can sell at break even? I have certainly been in those positions myself, sir. Those are cross the bear. I see that Jack has gone ahead and committed seppuku here. So he has gone the way of the dinosaur. It's just me and Jason alone against the world, and it can happen that quick, guys. You know, like these crypto markets can be hard on a young man or a woman. No AOA. Aurora coin. All right, my bad. And just like that, a miraculous recovery. Okay, Kyber Network BTC on the weekly time frame. If you want to be very bullish about this, we could look at this chart and say that, well, we are clearly back testing previous resistance turn support. I know if Alex was here today, that is what he would be saying, because he is aggressive. And I'm very grateful for that, because Alex sees a lot of trade setups that I would otherwise not see, because I am naturally conservative. So it's a very good dynamic, right? I'm conservative when I know that the ball is in my court and we are in a more dangerous market environment. And when things are blindingly bullish, Alex is the friend that's like, all right, bro, like just up to 2% risk. Like, let's make some money while the getting is good. Okay. Like, let's all hands on deck. Let's go, buddy. This is really happening. So Kyber Network, potential retest of resistance turn support. I don't really like these setups on the weekly. So let's start zooming down and actually looking for some objective data. However, on the weekly, I will say that the best data would suggest that we are in a uptrend. We are not in an established downtrend yet. We have had two pretty nasty weekly closes to the sell side, following a weekly doji, and then two pretty big, kind of funny looking, honestly. Big weekly pump candles here on KNC. This was a darling, kind of a highlight of recent alt season. So far, this is a pullback. If this gets worse, then we will, if this continues for another week or two, we will be in an established downtrend and only should be shorting. So let's go to the daily. Based on that, I would be biased to trade to the long side on KNC. Not in KNC right now at this point in time. Let's see what this QQQ system would have us doing. Well, it would have a short, actually. So we are bullish. We are in a bullish trend since the 5th of June. We get to ride that all the way up. And
a profitable short too.
Yeah, I mean, just barely. I'm not gonna lie, and this is often how it can happen. This brings up a good point. People who have not really, generally who are inexperienced at trading, and this is why I say this so often. Like, if you guys want to consider yourself experienced, and this is no insult. This is not meant to be injurious. You really have to be in the market for, I think, 2 to 3 years, because you have to see these rallies for yourself. You have to experience them. You have to experience trend shifts. You have to experience bull markets and bear markets. Because if you don't experience it for yourself, you will not understand on that deeply fundamental level, the way that you need to understand it so that you make the right actions, how long a trend can continue, right? Just how long that chart can continue to print green or red candles subsequently, just over and over and over again, to the point where you almost get exhausted, where you're like, man, another green candle on Bitcoin. This is getting old. All right, guys, is this a simulation?
Yep.
So the, very, very first basic rule of trading trends here is that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Trends often proceed on greater momentum and staying power than you could possibly predict. So if we look at the chart of KNC BTC right now, I think that you would have a good point to say, well, all right, listen, man, this is not the greatest signal that we got on KNC BTC. We didn't get the signal to short until we closed below this baseline, which didn't happen until this candle. And since we wait until daily close, we would have been entering right here on this candle, right? So, man, this is the short entry. All right, so I could certainly understand. Some like rolling eyes. And again, this is one trade, so I'm certainly not going to be beholden to the results of this individual chart. But what I will say is that Jason is right. We are starting to get some follow through, and if this does turn into a bearish trend, a pronounced trend, you're going to see more downside on KNC, and we're going to crash right through this this kind of weekly support level, which, by the way, is why I do not like those setups. Even though, again,
at the end of the day, you're still guessing.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm just not going to direct the attention there. Some people really like the double bottom setup where they'll just buy, in my opinion, blindly on a retest. I don't like that. I like to see price, let's say, come back and retest a level of previous resistance that you want to act as support. But then I would like to see that level act as support, right? Like a couple candle closes. I want to see price hang out there. And then I want to see buyers step in and take control of the market. I want to be long when bulls are actively pushing price up. That's what I want. Come make my coin, pump my backs. That's what I want. Why do I want to waste time and effort swing trading assets that aren't moving? No. And I think that's probably the first thing that people realize when they join the premium trading group and they start seeing the premium signals. Like, yes, we enter on green candles. I don't care what people say. Well, I only buy on red candles and sell on green candles. You do that, bro, and I will sit over here and consistently make decent returns from the market because I'm not scared.
Look at that MCO trade, because I entered it directly after that monster wick to the upside. And look how that's played out today. I mean, you don't just have to buy red, sell green,
All right. So obviously we're having a good show here. So let's just talk about KNC BTC. If this does develop into a powerful trend, then we're gonna see, as I said, like lower prices. Way to go, Justin. If we, well, I could just be a little self-deprecating, right? Like, okay, good analysis, Justin. If we develop a bearish trend, price is gonna go lower. Stellar. Let's see. If we can get
good job.
A round of applause, guys. Smash the like button. All right, no. Because the reason why I say that is because it's easy to eyeball this chart and assume like, well, this is a bad short entry. We're clearly kind of bottomed out. Nope. No, we can put in some pretty significant large candles that will surprise you. Not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying I always get cautious when we begin trading at hot spots. What do I mean by that? I mean an area of the chart that you'd look at and somebody in the room is going to say something very smarmy. Like, well, clearly price is coming down and retesting previous resistance as support here. Definitely a good buy signal. Avoid like the plague smarmy analysis, right? If something seems extremely obvious to you on the chart, or if it seems obvious to other people, then it probably represents the least likely edge, right? Well, not the least likely move, but because the move could happen, but the least likely edge, right?
Yeah.
Because good.
Everyone knows about it. It's not an edge.
Right. Exactly. Good returns are made on some form of an edge. Now, we do utilize a popular edge, but a unique take on that edge, which is the market's propensity to trend and what happens in markets when markets trend. We do want to be long on trending assets. All right, so I'm gonna attempt to stop waxing so gosh darn loquaciously. KNC BTC, not a big fan of it. I would actually be recommending an active short, but not entry on the current candle. Anywhere closer to 15,175. But I feel hesitant, reticent to even say that because it's going to depend on what everything looks like on the day. So no entry on KNC BTC right now at this point in time. If we can, and again, potential pullback here to 80.55. That is a big pullback potentially to come down and test the weekly baseline here. That's another 30% down.
Yeah. So
KNC has had a nice run. I think we can. KNC is not on my actively coveting list anymore. Like that is, that's been moved off to the. That's like in the ex-girlfriend list right now, where I'm over it. We just check in once in a while to feel better about ourselves in our life decisions. Let's see here. Yeah, so I do not recommend any activity on KNC. Let's check on this thing in a few weeks and let's see, just really kind of where the market ends up shaking out.
Sit on your hands with KNC right now. Even if it does go and turn around from here, it's not your trade, man.
Or hey, it's possible that it is your trade. And if it is, if you're the one person out there that the KNC chart is just singing to you like, oh, and take it. Take your trade. Because it is not ours. So we need somebody. Let's see here.
Next one would be ADA.
Fibonacci says that USDT is the current price on pullback. We have an indicator for that. It's called the TD sequential. All right, now I'm kind of mixing things up. Der Student says, Justin, can you tell us what goes on in this triple Q system and what is it good for? Sure. So again, very, very broadly, all I'm doing with these particular indicators on the chart is I am applying a methodology that I teach now currently on the Online Trading Academy, but there's also content related to the Pathways to Profit course in our Google Drive. So it is a methodology of backtesting. It's a methodology of strategy component selection. It is a methodology of reviewing results. It is a methodology for filtering losing trades, for improving the hit rate and win rate of indicators. Encompassed within that is some pretty nuanced concepts of trading that you're going to want in your comprehensive strategy, which is where do I take continuations? What do I do about profit taking? Where do I set trailing stop losses? How can I improve? What market should I trade? What time of day should I trade? What what psychological conditions should I trade under? Right? Just people don't know. There's not a good academy for this. Until there was, because I built it. There needs to be an academy for traders, and I'm this is the goal. This is the goal. It is a methodology to apply. It's a heuristic to apply to your chart and to your trading activities. And individuals who come into it with an open mind and willing to put in the work are going to see the results. And this has been proven pretty very, very clearly over and over again over the last 2 years. Now, as far as specifically what these indicators are doing, well, they are measuring momentum. They are measuring volume. They are also measuring, in this case threshold, in the case of that inverted Fisher transform on the RSI, which is acting as an exit indicator. Let's put it this way. The individual things that they're doing are less important than broadly what this entire system is designed to convey, which is objective trading signals of when to take a trade, objective trading signals of when to exit a trade, an objective framework for how to take profit and loss, because you will certainly have losing. All right. So that was that's the textbook. Peel the sticker back. That's the answer that you get on every PTP orange. Is that? We looked at Siacoin, Kyber Network. Atomic Stag wants to look at Cardano. Buy the rumor, sell the news last time I checked. Bitfinex. Where are we at? Come on. Okay, never mind. Yeah, a coin, a coin's a little shady when even Bitfinex won't list it. Let's go look on, it's Kraken. Kraken's got a pretty robust Cardano. Silent says basically, all right, let's see here. Silent says a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush on MCO/CRO. Basically, they saw the writing on the wall, which was that they were hemorrhaging MCO to pay out rewards, and the coins kept going up. They had to stop the bleeding, or they had to buy the entire market. Yeah, and I think that we'll get into this in just a second. I think that a lot of individuals are, just upset with Crypto.com for not pumping their bags, but arguably they did a pretty good job. They did the best that they could, maybe. All right, ADA USDT here on the weekly. Yeah, so here we are on Kraken. This is not a supremely exciting chart, not gonna lie. Yeah, milk toast. Maybe we have some. No, I think that's probably the best chart that we have. I know Bittrex sometimes gives us, September 2018. Yeah, I think that's what we got. We got what we got. All right, so let's go back to Kraken. On the weekly chart, we're just going to go ahead and call this because this is not a real candle. New weekly highs for Cardano, so much celebration and applause. I assume. Yeah, so. All right, listen, guys, am I crazy? Because I believe I recall trading Cardano back in, the frothy 2018 early year, kind of the beginning of 2018, the super froth. S180XT is like, no, listen, dude, not ADA for the 9th time, AOA or Divi, either one. I'll make money on either, but just get off that ADA chirp. This is a request from Atomic Stag for Cardano. I promise you. All right, so new weekly high on ADA/USD. So we're just going to go ahead and assume that while ADA/USD is making new highs, that it will continue to do so, because that's a pretty logical assumption. Seems that every time when ADA is putting in asymmetrically more green candles to red candles, lo and behold, it generally continues to move up. So again, that sounds very flippant, but it's also psychologically very difficult for people to do, right? To actually have faith. You don't have to have faith because it's understanding the statistical likelihood of market dynamics, understanding the true nature of how trends unfold and evolve over time, and being okay with not knowing, with not having the answer, with only having the stats. So, all right, it's 4:20, so let's kind of put the throttle on here a little bit. ADA/USD, I do not like it for entry right here on the weekly time frame, but I would certainly hold this. I do believe we are coming up to the kind of the Shelly mainnet launch. So this is, the sentiment is buy the rumor, sell the news. ADA is performing well, so you certainly can sell the news. That's a good profit-taking strategy. I would sell slightly before the news. Again, this is a pretty good area to sell ADA. If you bought literally anywhere except for a couple times over the past 2 weeks, you are in profit on ADA. So when the entire market is in profit on a trade, pretty good time to take profit. But again, let these trends persist. Like ADA, with the Shelly mainnet, yes, selling the fundamental is pretty classic strategy. But so is holding the asset in a trending market. Let this thing do its thing. 420. We got T-Dub says, listen, at 420 though, you got to cut it off. It is 420. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do not use substances, but go ahead and smoke them if you got them. All right. Let's go down to the daily and look for entry. Yeah, and I'm not getting anything on Mr. Cardano here, which is pretty good. I believe the term I would use to characterize this chart over the past really 3 weeks is rather flaccid. Now we get a flaccid chart over here on aisle 3. No really trending opportunities here. You would add to hold for a week just to really make profit from one candle. And that's not really what we're looking for, right? We're looking for, you know, kind of movements like this. And my computer is kind of screaming at me. It's like, listen, Justin, you cannot download 90 gigabytes of educational material, render in media encoder, and live stream. Possible. Tenacious V says, welcome to Tijuana. Wayne Art says, I am currently smoking a bowl of ice cream cake. I don't know what that means, but that sounds awesome, man. Shout out to you. T-Dub says, I got wrecked on Cardano with this dip. Check that weekly chart out. The rear view mirror is more important than the windscreen, says Oniki Car Scanners. Interesting. Car scanners. I think I need some more car scanners in my life because I am unaware of whether individuals are police officers when I am out driving about. I need a good fuzzbuster. Any recommendations? You can leave them in the comment section down below. I will probably randomly buy one. Apropos to nothing. So I do not see a signal here from AUD/USD. Certainly going to need, I mean, I'm probably going to need to see price above 14 or 15 cents to get that trending signal on this particular system. So.
Yeah, you probably need to see enough high in order to get that to set because, I mean, ADA myself, I kind of want a bigger pullback on it, but it just might not be in the cards right now.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, looking at the Cardano chart here, this begins to look like trend exhaustion and potential distribution. I mean, we've done, you know, with the exception of that one candle, really, we've pretty much moved sideways since the 8th of July. So let's, you know, let this thing rev up. We have been kind of moving sideways for another week. So I guess we're going to figure out if we've got enough gas in the tank for another push to the upside, in which case we'll wait for the signal, or if this is a good sell the news event. But again, Mr. Ether says he's like, I don't know about you guys, but my ADA hodl position is up 200%. Just say it. I'll be over at this. I'll be over at the wet bar, gentlemen.
Shots on him.
Shots on Mr. Ether. Wayne Arndt is getting ready for this tropical storm / mini hurricane to hit. Yes, there is going to be life-altering weather. I mean, dangerous, you know, life-changing events. Let's smoke a hallucinatory substance. That's the best way we could possibly prepare for this. Listen, again, huge shout outs to the individual personal choices of individuals. Do not use substances, but yeah, I just don't feel like I don't feel like that's probably the best way to deal with a storm. However, I mean, I can be the opposite. I can be the opposite argument, which is if you're gonna be in a storm, you know. Azriel asking about Rocket Pool. He said, "Did you ever look at Rocket Pool? I picked a bunch of this up in a pre-sale over a year ago at 20 cents. All right, so let's see. Let's see how you've done. I'll be able to tell immediately. I mean, I'm just going to assume that you have not done super well because it is not listed on a major exchange. So let's go to boom. Maybe ChartX. Let's see if ChartX will work. This has kind of been my go-to since Alex introduced this thing. RPL, Rocket Pool. Here we go. Coin Paprika. Okay, I did not want that. I just wanted RPL and really not the attitude. ChartX, if you don't mind. Get enough of that from the toaster. Okay, now we play the waiting game. Meanwhile, let's go pull up Coin Paprika over here. Coins. Buy Coin Paprika. Use credit cards to buy on our system. RPL. Number 1045. Ooh, okay. Let's see here. So pretty much break even today, but that it's not looking at the charts here. Let's pull up the trading view chart here on RPL. Well, I take that back, man. Congratulations. You have done so well, in fact, Yeah, I got nothing, man. This is a pretty crushing trade, dude. You picked this up at 20 cents on the pre-sale. It's currently 351. So again, let's
Round of applause.
I'm just gonna go to percentage calculator. I think it's .net. Yeah. So people can put that into perspective. Again, like I said, you don't got to be super smart to make it around here. All right, 0.20 cents to, let's just say 350. We're not even going to give the devil his full due here. All right. Okay, that's a big number. I'll be right back. Oh. Okay. Sound of life-changing gains right there.
It's
all right.
Okay.
All right, so Azriel, the first thing you want to do is be very, very cautious of anybody that approaches you about your newfound wealth. But you should totally hit me up later on this weekend for drinks. All right, let's talk about it. All right, anyways, so good trade, man. Good trade. As far as RPL right now, I mean, we're talking about low cap, what I'm going to consider a politely a shitcoin here. I don't, being number 1,045, we are in the realm of penny stocks. I don't know the fundamentals on this. I have really no reason to hold this unless unless something comes up. So whatever is there for me to feel comfortable buying this at 350 after it's already up that, hold on, just in case anybody missed this. When it's already up like this number, I don't feel that kind of confidence and conviction. So I think RPL, along with a huge host of low cap shitcoins, are just going to be trades that I don't take, and that's okay because that's not what I do. This is not this isn't Chico Crypto. This is not Altcoin Daily. This is Kraken Cryptocurrency. We trade trends around here.
We do it well.
Let's see here. You can tell the show's gone long. There are individuals talking about their individual hallucinogenic experiences on LSD in the chat. Good times. Yeah, the freaks come out at night. Waynard says it is just marijuana. That's correct. However, keep in mind that every substance affects individuals differently. Every single one, right? Know your substance, know your background, know your source. Arrowhead.org, ladies and gentlemen.
The more you know.
The more you know. Dun, 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 dun. Silence says, I'm not a bear. I have objectively verified this with medical staff, but I would just like to mention that the daily 200 simple moving average is 8,705. What do you think about that, Justin, huh?
That takes a little wind out of your sails, doesn't it?
I feel deflated. Yes.
And no, GB Wally, the news section has not happened yet.
Jonah, love the snow. All right. I feel like this might be a trap. Sure Pilarto times wedding cake. Smoking, not just triple X's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cinco X's. Penta X's. Yeah, he's got the Penta X's up in there. Now I am familiar with this wedding cake. I have I have been to a dispensary. I do believe that is a popular strain of the cannabis. Cannot speak to its efficacy myself. Mr. Ether says I did acid in a lightning storm before. It was spectacular. What's his face? This is really apropos of nothing. I really like the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. Again, not really. Who doesn't? Yeah, who doesn't? Well, I mean, a lot of people actually. This former fighter think he know things. He have 3-hour-long conversations. Thinks he's intelligent. Yeah, like it's interesting stuff. It's very rare that you get to listen to long form, sit down stuff. So anyways, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a big psilocybin advocate, and I am a big, listen, again, I do not advocate the recreational use of personal substances in people's lives. Just statistically is way more likely to cause problems than be that kind of magical benefit for you. However, I am a very strong advocate for the complete decriminalization and legalization of all substances across the board, period. No holdbacks, people are allowed to do what they want, right? This does not violate primary philosophical principles, and the current drug war is perpetuated, like just on, not even like people say like, oh, the terror and broken homes and all this that it's caused. Yeah, for me it's more like absolute like shame, because nothing really like brings me more shame than to just witness abject incompetence. If you want a good example of how to basically proceed with an idea in the worst way humanly possible, it would be the United States government and its related ABC offices, and the quote unquote 20th to 21st century war on drugs. Abject failure, unless you consider the empowerment of criminal cartels success. All right, Jonah Loves It So says, love you guys. Love you too, my brother. I like a nighttime because cracking crypto gets a little weird. It's like, yeah. No song for $4.20. My bad. Good vibes. Joe Rogan is low key. He is, certainly for a lot of people. Yeah, Paul Stamets. There we go. Thank you, Jeremy Hildebrand. Yeah. So Paul Stamets, he is the magic mushroom guy. He tells a similar story about how he had a very powerful psilocybin trip in a lightning storm, and actually that cured his Tourette's, according to his anecdotal self-representation. So, yeah. Right back at you, Silent. The 200-day simple moving average is 87.32. Yeah, well, Paul Stamets cured Tourette's in a lightning storm with LSD. Maybe psilocybin. We're not sure. Let's see. Weird. Scott says, you gotta watch the show, and also the Rogan episode. If this isn't already what you're talking about. Yeah, Paul Stamets. Yeah, I love that episode. Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. Yeah, you got it. So right back at you, Mr. Scott. You need to watch the Paul Stamets episode, and I will watch. I guess this is the Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. Put it on the TV behind me. All right. And Delta Broy is just like, hey, I don't want to be left out here. Just letting you guys know, I do acid too. Like, just throwing that out there. Just public live stream, like public chat, YouTube. Just, hey guys. I do not. Just want to put those 2 cents out there. You know what I mean? If this conversation is going to really carry forward, do acid too. Good man. Good man. Listen, I will say objectively, most of the really, really cool people I've met, not all of them, listen, because this is probably a bad statistic, because I bet of the people that I've met that I would classify as abject POS, right? Like, take them out, put them down. They're good for fertilizer. I bet most of those people would self-report that, yeah, for sure, I've totally tripped on acid. But what I was going to say is, just anecdotally, I think the most profound or influential people that I've met have experimented with psychedelics at one point or other. Again, although I do not moving right along. Let's see here. S180XT says, chart request. He's like, please, can we finally look at that AOA? Or Divi? He's like, I don't care, either one. All right. Jason, which one are we going to do? Divi or AOA? Decision.
He asked for AOA first, so I think he wants Aurora more.
He wants that Aurora. Feel it. Don't tell me what you want, customer. I tell you what you want.
I'll tell you what
you want. More cowbell. Let's see here. All right.
No prescription. More cowbell.
More cowbell. So RPL never ended up loading on ChartX. Invalid symbol. So let's. Come on, man. Let's look at AOA USDT on KuCoin, which is actually a market that we can trade. In fact, we don't even need this. Don't need your shenanigans, sir. AOA USDT. Yes, KuCoin. Tell us. Let's see here. Trying to look at the chart, make money, and simultaneously also keep up on this conversation that I'm now having on the show about lysergic acid. Darn, I was gonna try and use the big words. LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide. I think diethylamide.
Dimethyltryptamine.
It's like tryptophan. Hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, that one. Pretty sure it's lysergic acid diethylamide number 9, to be specific. But let's see. Let me scroll down and keep up on this. Something about Mike Tyson does it best. Referral your get. Lol. Oh, that is
Confusing.
that is a little aggressive, bro. I probably wouldn't have led with that. Love you, man. Wouldn't be a very authentic trader, and you would not penetrate into the community of elite traders if you did not have a big line of Cardano at the start of a trade.
Okay.
Just start off every day, guys. You know what I teach in the course
Attaboy.
about positive affirmations and a moment of silence and collecting your thoughts and journaling. Throw all that to the wind. You just
Cardano.
like least 7 Cardano to the face. That is the right way.
Attaboy.
The view we are seeing in TradingView is correct. Yeah, this is not altered in any way. Falls down a well, eyes go crossed, gets kicked in the head by a mule, eyes go uncrossed. I don't know. Are you talking about Uncle Phil?
Something like that.
S180XT says DMT opens your mind to successful trading. Yes, it can also. So yeah, DMT is probably one of the more popular. What's the word I'm looking for? Substances that once you do it, you are pretty convinced that we're living in a simulation.
Yeah.
That's my anecdotal reporting on other individuals' use of this. Let's see here. Silent says rustling chart papers for Tourette's data. He's like, yes, lightning creates new neurological pathways in the ganglions of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm trying to do here is drop the mic. Good job, my brother. Silent, you're in, man. If you didn't know you were in before, and maybe you weren't, you're in now, bro.
This guy's midichlorian count must be off the charts.
The force is strong with
Yoda!
this boy.
I've never seen anybody just zig to my zag like that. Diethyl and hide. German for the ethyl should disappear. Halt small. Wo ist the acid? Remember that guy in the movie The Great Outdoors that got struck by lightning 67 times in the head? No. I do not recall that guy. Although it is rumored.
67 times?
It is rumored that he went on to found the most successful proprietary.
It's also a rumor that he's a liar.
Saints, he says, I seem to have turned into the crack in Crypto Hour. I'm pretty sure you guys have only talked about drugs for the last 30 minutes. All right. I did not start this. I did not start us off down this path. Putting that out there right now.
Just like anything else, like trading, anything can be addicting, right?
Yeah, like talking about the news. All right, so AOA. Speaking about the news, make sure that you guys package up your
You're
news.
probably giving Jack an aneurysm.
Yeah, Jack's about to have just an emotional breakdown. I have.
Committing All
right, so AOA USDT. We do not have a whole lot of data here on KuCoin. I do believe this coin has been around longer, so let me pull up. Yeah, okay, here we go. AOA daily, going back for some historicity. Okay, so here's what they see. Just hold on to that thought. It will take me a few more seconds to process this data than I originally intended. Okay, let's go to the week. All right, so listen, as much as I dislike people saying I like X here, I do not like Aurora here, but it doesn't look bad. Okay. Aurora has some of the pretty classic signs of, say a shitcoin that looks like it has more legs. And since we are in a narrowly, broadly, obtusely, any kind of perspective you want to look at it, in a bull market in cryptocurrency, every trend line is breaking resistance, as kind of the saying goes. So here on Aurora, we have historically stalled out around the 3 cent mark. So that's where we're going for. We are currently a little bit under a cent and a half. Okay, so that marks some pretty significant territory. But 3 cents, I think, is kind of the logical area for this. Keep in mind that we have had some resistance in this area before as well, like right around 2 cents. But we certainly have had enough of an accumulation period here from the end of 2019 to now that I think we can actually get some pronounced movement. Now, Aurora had a big move, a 300% move. And in my opinion, the correct way to interpret this data is, okay, so Aurora was this coin. It launched, it did some things, and pretty much just lost anybody that invested into it near its beginning, lost them a whole bunch of money. And then eventually, more savvy investors stepped in and decided to buy this asset, not when the creators of Aurora told them to, which was probably a terrible time. If I want investment advice, I will certainly not call the CEO of a company and ask for their opinion on when I should invest in their stock, because likely they're going to tell me yesterday clearly was the right time to invest in the shares of my company because I am such a good CEO. So kind of the same thing. When a coin lists initially, for all intents and purposes, you can consider that your first opportunity to be a legitimate market participant, assuming, and again, understanding that there are going to be, let's just call them less reputable means of acquiring a position in and low cap shitcoins, right? All right, let's get the music as there we go, back on. So Aurora launches, pretty much just falls off the map. Of course, there's some pumps in there, and we finally see what looks like an accumulation period, followed by a big push to the upside. This indicates buying pressure. This indicates that there are interested buyers, right? So there are bulls out there waiting, and maybe Aurora is the right coin, for the right person, in this right spot, right? Does not look like, Mrs. Right now to me, but could be somebody's Mrs. Right on the weekly. So again, in an uptrend, we've had a pretty big pullback. I think the market is broadly bullish. This might represent a good entry opportunity. Let's look on the daily here and look for a specific opportunity. I think we can do that over here. Yep. We're not going to have a lot of historicity, but we'll do our best. Yeah, no, this is not enough historicity. I wish I could do it over on this ChartX chart. Well, this is the hourly anyways. What am I doing here? I want the daily. Don't want to play with me, ChartX. Oh, hold on. Before I retire that, just wanted to re-mention, in case anybody forgot it, 1,649% Azriel just self-reported that he made on Rocket Pool. So
the gains are out there.
This is now. I'm going to copy paste this and replay this part of the show back when essentially people attempt to interest me in a perhaps less reputable means of revenue generation. Hey man, come over here and just tell people to trade on BitMEX or do I don't know, whatever, sell this product on your show. No. There are plenty of gains out here. You can go away with your less than reputable offer. Now, why are you wearing a trench coat? This is an email. I shouldn't even see that you have a trench coat on.
Put some clothes on.
Let's see here. Jordan says, just need to lay off the Apple energy drink. Yeah, I certainly do believe that there is potential correlation.
With the Zcash halving coming up, you want to take a look at that?
Sure.
Take a look at Zcash.
Jordan Stott says, when I'm back testing, what time frames do I use to test? The daily. The daily is what I trade off of. And I think that, I think that starting there and getting good there is what you want to do. Because from there, you will develop the skill. Like, to master the daily is no small task. Like, one does not just walk into Mordor, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you're going to acquire, you know, a skill set, you know, a better orchestra by Film 3, better lighting, you know, camera production. Commenting on the Return of the King quality. What's the ticker symbol for rocket fuel? ROFL? Question mark? Yes. I think the ticker symbol was wish I would have bought that. I thought that chart Palladium at 4.8. Palladium has now officially been nowned, ladies and gentlemen, in the vicinity of Manchester, in the United Kingdom. Palladiumed. It's a thing. Philly, please do us the honor. Is that a good thing? Like, hey, that thing ripped, pumped, shot off, mooned? Or is this a negative thing? Like getting kneecapped? Or, you know, insert negative thing here. Wayne calling for the smashing of the like. And I am reticent to really recommend anything here on AOA. There's just not anything here. I'm not familiar with the fundamentals. Not getting an objective signal.
I would agree. You're in a waiting game at this point. You got to wait for your indicators to give you some kind of signal of trend here. But of course, it's bullish for now. But I don't know about picking it up here.
Let's go to let's take again. No, this is not it. Immediately regret this decision. Let's look at the Donchian system. So the Donchian is giving us some data here, and we are not set up for a trade. Again, I would not be trading Aurora this way because there is not enough historical data on the chart to justify trading it in this fashion. So I wish you the best of luck.
I think it needs more of a pullback myself.
And honestly,
no, look at that volume.
Yeah, so just, you know, kind of my, what I will give you, right, as the kind of silica gel consolation prize in the package that you've purchased here, sir, by investing in us here at Kraken Cryptocurrency, is, you know, you basically got a chart of price moving sideways, followed by a massive green candle, and then, you know, hey, what do you know? Price moves sideways a little bit more. So what this does say is that while I think the bulls are clearly waiting in the wings here, the bears are here, but they're not able to suppress price. And the longer price goes sideways, if you guys would like a relevant historical example of this, just go use the bar replay feature on Bitcoin. Start 2 weeks ago, and then just keep going. You'll know when you reach it. The longer a chart moves sideways, following a directional movement, either to the upside or the downside. If price continues to move sideways, you know, again, I'm just going to slap an arbitrary number on there, but a high, you know, 70 to 75% of the time, around that range, around that ballpark of frequency, price moves in the direction of the movement previously. Right? Sideways movement following a pretty powerful directional move is generally biased to break in the same direction the price was originally trending. Okay, Rafflecopter is rising like crazy, and why not? At that price, it's super cheap. T-Dub slapped down a $5 super chat, and I missed it.
So did GBU Wally.
GBU Wally is used to me ignoring his super chats. He's like, I don't even know why I tipped this guy.
Gave him $55. Didn't even talk to him.
Nice. Gave him $50 earlier for a microphone, and he's like, oh, buy him a Yeti, bro.
The last one was about getting a cover on it on the microphone. That's why he gave $5 more.
Oh, okay.
The foam cover.
Gotcha. Get him that windscreen. Okay. Good looking out, man. Thank you so much, Wally. I appreciate it. You know, what can I say? Shout out to you and Gunbot University. You got a great thing going on over there. Yeah. You're one of the good ones, man. Very hard to find a good one nowadays. Philly says the 350 on screen hit 450. I'm going to say that's a come up. No, not rocket fuel. Did the Apple land at GBP Did the apple land at GBP Towers this afternoon? Ahoy. I don't know. But what what else would you buy? I think if you were sitting there with a big barrel full of the great British pounds, would you be content to hold that value in the great British pound? Or would you say to yourself,
I'm gonna buy Bitcoin.
I bet there's damn, look at all these precious metals around here. What's up, ladies? Yeah, makes sense to me. Okay. Let's see. Do we have any more requests? AOA, we got Zcash, and he's like, how about that Neo? The Neo while you're looking around. Jason, you didn't insert in here the request for the Neo.
I
From
didn't say it out
Mr.
loud,
Wallet.
but I did insert it in there.
Oh my dear. He's like, look here, buddy. I put that in the super secret code. I even wrote it in the Elder Futark, like you trained me. All right, going to IDs. Ideas. Yes. Ideas. Yeah. All right.
You put one out on Zcash, didn't you?
No, just Neo, and that's what I'm going to reference.
Oh yeah.
So I did put out this this analysis, this multi-time frame, or as Dr. Alexander Elder would call it, the 3 screens analysis, because there are 1, 2, 3 screens. All right, let's go ahead and play the tape forward here. So my thoughts on Neo here were that daily PTP long swing signals for active trades were valid on the day the request was made. This was, I felt bad because Wally had sent a super chat just as I was ending the stream, so I didn't actually get an opportunity to see it. All right, so we do see here that, yes, we were right on that. Here is the down candle, and with one little scam wiki exception here, that was the lowest price win, and a very nice swing trade there that followed that we did. I'm just gonna assume that we took that. I have to go look back through the logs, but why would we not? And the hourly, it looked great as well. Again, with a little scam wick exception there. Very good movement. Now, on the weekly, my thoughts on Neo were that I want to see, I do not yet see a weekly trend. We are still consolidating at the bottom here on Neo. And yes, there will be bulls in those hills because we do see buying, but we're not in breakout territory yet. So just gonna read my former self. Neo has been accumulating in a rectangular formation. I have good success trading these rectangle bottom setups. We can see that our previous range low has been swept for liquidity. So those who are kind of following the auction market theory of the markets, which by the way, in my opinion, is the correct philosophy to approach the markets with. And we teach this in the Pathways to Profit course. We just don't call it a thing, but you will naturally come out generally understanding why price moves. And we have formed a higher low. So this is good to see. This is macro chart structure stuff. Let's see. What do I say here? We can now, although ideally what we do not really want to see here is some significant pullbacks, because whenever you have something accumulating at something that you want to call historical support, like, hey, look, it's this asset's really cheap right now. It's down at these like long-term support levels. Generally, those are the signals that are just too good to be true, right? This is why when we talk about, for example, in the the strategy for accumulating positions in advantageous zones, right, or historical zones, we're up. We talked about the entire approach and the idea of patience, and if you're going to embark upon this journey in this trading system, you're going to be DCAing in, right? You are going to be, if price goes lower, you now buy more. And so you are lowering your average entry cost to the market as price continues to drop. So we want to be very cautious, assuming that because something is at weekly support or accumulating in weekly support, that necessarily means we have to break out. It doesn't. We can bounce around here for months or years, if not more. All kinds of different charts where you can see this. But what we do want to see here for Neo is, I'm going to tentatively be pretty positive here on Neo. I would like to see us really break the, I I'd like to see the weekly close above $13.19. We'll just say 13.20. We'll make it a penny harder now. Just, why not? And once that happens, I would long any retests of the $13.20 to $13 area. I think that's the best way to get continuation on this. Now let's go look at the daily and see if we have anything on the daily. We're just going to look at NEO-USD on Bitfinex. Come on, why you do this to me? Oh, because I put Binance at the beginning. All right, NEO to the dollar. Okay. Bullish trend. No entry signal right now. All of our all of our confirmation indicators here are quite bullish. We would have gotten, I think, very similar to the Donchian system that I used to post that trade setup in the very first place. We did get initiation here on the 22nd of July. And no exit signal so far, so I would continue to hold this trade. Looks good. And Wayne Arndt for Zcash USD. That's the last request, and then we're going to get into today's news.
3 hours later.
3 hours later. Yeah. That's the nice thing about live streams. We kind of do whatever we want around here. Yeah. I think we'll know when you guys don't enjoy the content anymore. Zcash USD on the daily here is starting to look a little tapped out, but again, I'm pretty bullish on Zcash. We do have the halving event coming up, and it's not like coming up tomorrow. Like, this is a ways away. I believe it's in November. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's in November. And I think that as we are in a broadly bullish market, I think Zcash can perform well here. There is another particular reason that I like Zcash, and while I'm reticent to admit it, again, Zcash was the coin that was down the most of anything of significance. Meaning, and we covered this a while ago, meaning that Zcash, assuming a perfect world where everything kind of goes back to its original value, or reaches new retests at least its previous all-time high that it put in, then Zcash has the most dollar for dollar to gain. So yeah, I like Zcash. I'm certainly not on the, hey man, privacy coins are gotta pump, right, as an asset class. No, they don't. I think that's a moth. Wow. I think that I'm uncomfortable with the concept of privacy coins needing to pump on some fundamental level. If there was ever an asset class of cryptocurrencies that would be very irrational to pump, it would be privacy coins because of the pushback from regulators. If you guys haven't figured this out yet, the companies that play nice with the regulators and that, bend the knee a little bit to, our established, instantiated power structure, their prices do well. This is how, this is how they buy your soul, right? And they buy it with money. Be clever enough to change the system from the inside. All right, so not recommending any position on Zcash at this point in time, but again, I would be longing pullbacks, and I would be just nurturing the position that I would have in Zcash.
Yeah. That hanging man candle on the daily would suggest we have another test of lower for continuation. So right now would not be a good time.
Yep. Good eye, Jason. That is a hanging man candle, pretty classic candlestick analysis, bearish reversal candle, and kind of the general rule of thumb was that if you see one of those, the odds are likely that you're going to put in a pullback, and so we'll see. I mean, the basic market structure way to look at this would be: do we form another higher low, which we have been? If we form another higher low, then it's logical to assume that we go ahead and make another higher high while we're at it. Zcash, while you're out there making things higher, how about that price? Overall price. Let's go, baby. So, certainly don't have an exit signal for Zcash right now. This would actually, if I were in a trade on Zcash, which probably by all rights I should be, but when we're in bull markets, we have to be we have to filter on overdrive because there's just signals everywhere.
Technically, you are in a position, but it's a longer term hold.
Right.
But we don't trade them.
Thank you, Jason, for just coming in there, fight night on my ego like that. I was about to commit seppuku there with Someone's gotta, man. It's I'm out here every day. I'm out here every day having all your backs, and who watches the watcher? Right? All right, guys, let's get into today's cryptocurrency segment. Before we do that, I'm just gonna, I have to prepare the screen, so I'm gonna throw some stuff at you. You'll see what I mean in a second. It's gonna be enjoyable things, just clips. Jason, Jack, thank you guys very, very much for joining me on stream. Jack, I assume you have quite a bit to say about the MCO thing, so let's do that. But I am gonna kind of pause you guys momentarily or mute you guys so that I can do my thing with the news story, like Mike Tyson.
Screen, but I think that news story kind of covers all the bases, so you can put your energy into reading that one off. It's a long one, so don't run out of gas on this one.
Gotcha. All right. I see, guys. That's a good team. Both Jason and Jack are like, all right, come on, man, you got this. Strong finish, and then you finish strong, man. All right, so we're gonna get into today's crypto currently segment. Jason and Jack, thank you guys so much for joining me for today's live stream, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, guys. It's just us. Just you guys and me. No, it's okay. It's totally fine. I got this. So we are going to be talking about MCO. I'm a little less negatively, centered on this particular topic, but we'll get to this in just a second. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the news, of course, if you guys, our primary focus is to trade. So if you guys enjoy the analysis that we do, if you like the idea of an objective strategy, of an objective signal system that not only is pretty kick-ass, but that you create yourself, that you can independently verify. If you like the ethos of verify, don't trust, vivus and numerus, like the ethos of Bitcoin itself, and you like that concept, then please check out everything that we do with building strategies, with educating young traders, with teaching them a better way to develop a system. You can find all that information at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. There is a perpetual link above me. I'm contractually obligated to point at it every 15 minutes. All right. And I think that, it's high time. You guys have been really awesome. It's been a good show. Let's go see. Let's do a Bitcoin weather report. Yeah, just a funsy one, right? Might not have anything to do with current market conditions, but we can certainly do our best. Let's take a gander. Go to studio mode. Bitcoin weather report. All right, here we go, guys. Let's see how Jason is doing. I know I just had Jason on, but if you guys just suspend your disbelief for just a few more minutes, I do have junior analyst Jason here with the Bitcoin weather report. Jason, what is the weather like out there today in Bitcoin? Let's connect here.
No, that's what I told him. I told him that. Yeah, we're going to push it up about 12.2 and then let everyone know that we're feeling bearish about it. And then let's pump that shit up to 14. You know what I mean? No. Yes. No. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, things are looking super bearish, man. Super bearish. Get your shorts on. Yeah, they're a bunch of idiots. No. Yes. All right. I love you. And back to you, Justin.
All right. Well, this isn't going to work. You guys can't even see me. Come on, Justin. Are you even trying? All right. And I got to be all the way over here. Running over computer parts and everything. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, hold on. Sorry, guys. This isn't going to work. Okay. All right. That's better. Man. Let's just pretend like that didn't happen. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for staying with us so long, and I hope you appreciate this cryptocurrency segment. I really want to break down what's going on with MCO. Obviously, MCO, very popular coin, relatively bullish chart, and a pretty big, what we like to call, the professional term is a snooker, right? Like, just really snuck in and did something today. So let's start with actually what we're talking about. So top story today, and this is related to one of the biggest cryptocurrency altcoin moves of the day, kind of recently, and that is the MCO and CRO tokens, right? These are the tokens behind company Crypto.com, very, very popular app, very popular company, heck, very popular syndicate. I didn't even know it was legal to consider yourself a syndicate, but hey, these things happen. And again, these two coins were behind today's big pump on the Monaco and Crypto.com coins. Now, Crypto.com, of course, is a Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency exchange. It's not just an exchange; it's also a platform. It's most well known for their Visa-powered crypto payment cards, and the MCO tokens were coins that you would purchase and stake in order to acquire various tiers of their various cards. Of course, who has not fantasized over the obsidian, majestic black card, a fine addition to the reclusive millionaire's wallets. And for the rest of you, there's the basic bitch edition. The Crypto.com Visa cards also offered a cashback rewards program, which was actually pretty darn good. You guys think that if you're on the train where DeFi, for example, these DeFi platforms basically apply or provide banking services at a cheaper and more attractive rate, a more aggressive and competitive rate than our traditional banking institutions currently, then I could easily see you making the case that what the MCO cards were offering was more attractive than generally what is available. I mean, heck, the card that I use, again, I am a credit card connoisseur, so I do everything in my power to get the maximum rewards. All right. Again, you could play little dickies, save that money. That is generally my philosophy. I'm a minimalist, and I enjoy, it brings me joy to save money because it is an application of strategy and intelligence, right? Critical thinking. How can I get to my desired outcome in this situation with spending the least amount of money? Most people do not conceptualize or frame the issue that way. Most individuals tend to, right, if they're in a situation, they pull out their wallet and they just kind of auto solve the problem with the card, right? Are you thirsty? Boom, buy a soda at the gas station. Does the person that you're with want something? Boom. Or, again, this could be a partner or a child or whatever, or a friend, just boom, auto pull out the card and boom, buy something. So I'll go ahead and play the tape forward for you guys on those not effective strategies. So the cashback rewards offered by Crypto.com were pretty competitive. The anecdote that I was going to relate there was the card that I use for the majority, like for all my purchases, like everything that I buy on a monthly basis goes on the credit card. That only offers like 3.5% cashback. Right? So MCO was certainly for a larger initial investment down or for more money down up front. We're offering good rewards, and you get to rep that you're keeping it in the crypto house, and you got that sexy card. Hard to complain about that. And again, the interest rates that were offered, or the cashback rates that were offered, 2 to 5% in cashback, and there were other perks in there as well. Now, kind of the catch is you were paid out in MCO tokens. So in other words, a rewards program like many other credit cards, ones that traditional credit cards offer. But this one paying out a few percentages in crypto on every purchase. But still, again, pretty aggressively marked. Now, of course, you don't need to, invest $2,500 to get the Visa card, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, the MCO token was a utility token, and it started back in late 2017. The Crypto.com token, known as CRO, did not launch until early 2019, and CRO was meant to be the native token powering their upcoming private crypto.com blockchain, right? However, since its launch, users on the crypto.com platform, have been, let's just say, confused, validly, as to why there are two tokens being offered, particularly considering that the newer CRO token has been performing very well in recent months, while MCO, not so much. It's drifted down in price since its kind of earlier debut and coin offering. So again, kind of to cut to the chase here, MCO was the token they offered you, but CRO is the token that they actually intended on delivering. So, yeah, you kind of got too many children, not enough resources. Sorry, kids, one of you has to go. So now, seemingly out of the blue today, Crypto.com announced, this went out early this morning, announced a token swap program, notified all of their users and stakeholders that were holding and staking the MCO token that you now have until November 2nd, 2020, to swap your MCO for CRO. So there is not another alternative. I mean, there is, I guess. Maybe you can hold your MCO and just hope for the best. But let's face it, this is the death of a coin. This is essentially a big old burn. So in an email that was sent out to all of the Crypto.com clients this morning, and Jack was able to kind of catch this hot off the presses because this caught his eye because he is a user of the Crypto.com platform. I think I clicked your referral link. If I didn't, I wish, I'm sorry that I didn't. Then. But they have, in this email, they announced that they have fixed the conversion price of MCO to CRO tokens. We're not going to let the open market decide that. We got you. So they used a volume weighted average price, or a VWAP formula. This is very similar to how BitMEX and again, many exchanges actually do settlement price or the closing price of contract. They do like a TWAP or a time weighted, a time weighted average volume by price type formula. So this is pretty common. This is pretty normal. So that VWAP though, or TWAP, kind of time weighted average price, takes into account the average price of both MCO and CRO in the last 30 days, or at least it claims to, right? Now, using this formula, they determined that the swap rate should be as follows. One MCO is equivalent to 27.6439 CRO. Yeah. Make sure that I'm not wrong. Yeah, sure. Here we go. A deep look at the numbers. Somebody probably better at numbers than me. Okay. So in order to incentivize users to complete this token swap, because it's very costly to send armed men to your house, they offered a 20% swap bonus, or what we're calling the early bird special, for the next 30 days. And in this regard, with the bonus, the conversion rate actually works out to one MCO being equal to 33.1726 CRO. Please don't come back on us for the decimals. All right, things change rapidly. Now, given CRO's current price, which at the time of the announcement was about 17 cents, a unit, one MCO worth was just $4. This was suddenly worth about $5.70 in CRO tokens. So sorry, that was a little convoluted. Basically, suffice to say, the amount that you would get in bonuses and kind of valuation for exchanging your MCO to CRO would actually be a come up, right? A pretty significant come up, about 30%, right? And this announcement catalyzed the MCO trading volume. So MCO kind of started off the day at $4. This represented a major arbitrage opportunity, instant arbitrage for anyone who had purchased MCO anywhere under $5, because you were just immediately, converting your MCO into CRO, and if you sell it immediately, you're getting a come up. So I do think that there is, it's actually probably not true. I would argue that as is usually the case, most individuals, net holding MCO were probably underwater prior to this kind of movement. And then again, only if they advantageously took advantage of this. So as a result of all of this arbitrage opportunity that was created due to Crypto.com creating this window of opportunity and this policy, the pumpamentals came in. So the price of MCO surged about 12 hours ago, 15 hours ago now that I've talked so long, on exchanges, and it climbed to about $5.56, which is where it was when we decided to stop writing this and updating it this morning. And that's pretty reflective of the of the current conversion rate to the relative value, of the CRO tokens that early swappers were eligible and still are eligible for. So those are the facts behind MCO's big move today and Crypto.com's decision to effectively merge the MCO token into their newer CRO coin. But the move isn't without its controversy, and many in the community and in the Crypto.com discords, particularly Reddit and other social media channels, are really crying foul today. And so let's take a look at that. I kind of made a aside at the beginning of the show that it kind of sounds like they're upset that their bags weren't pumped enough. But for one thing, we do have accusations, of course, of insider trading, and that's what they're doing. They are insider trading it. Yes. Let's give a big shout out to the brave men and women who keep our market alive. They're courageous insider trading, for one thing. So we have accusations of insider trading, and Crypto.com, being accused of rigging the token sale, so to speak, in a way that would give an advantage to their company and severely, and also severely punishing, let's say, early adopters and long time supporters of the original MCO token, who say that they've hung through with this project through thick and thin, and this token swap is a slap in the face. I get that. In the realm of investing, it's very common to develop sort of an attachment to your position, particularly ones you've held for a long time. But if I may just offer a cheeky bit of advice, that thing is just a digital asset, my friend. It is not your girlfriend. It is not your husband. It is not going to be with you through thick or thin. So do not apply that methodology to any of your investments. Those things are mediums of exchange. Remember, we are speculators, right? So embrace that. If you're going to do anything in life, embrace what you're doing. Because I would rather, I would rather be the crazy person laughing at the moon and really meaning it than the somewhat normal person, like politely laughing along with you at the water cooler, even though I think your jokes are terrible. So, being a professional trader, kind of I said earlier, you do need a little bit of that. You need something. Because it's not a job for everybody. But certainly, we were trying to teach everybody to do it because it's possible. Now, at the heart of the critique, let's get back to MCO. So at the heart of the critique, that's getting leveled at Crypto.com today is 2020's price action for the MCO and CRO tokens, and in particular, the last month's price data. That was used in what many disgruntled MCO stakeholders are saying today was rigged in favor of the company and at a detriment to them. So again, MCO was doing actually really well for quite a long time. And then just over the last month, it's had a pretty big pullback out of nowhere. Just a second. All right, getting updated that we are not experiencing tarantula rain here. So small things to be grateful for. Now, so again, MCO having this pretty pronounced pullback while CRO continuing in its uptrend. So the year has proven extremely profitable for Crypto.com, certainly, and certainly for CRO, for the CRO token and token holders, right? We could have broadly said for MCO holders as well, but not anybody that entered above the pullback, and it was a pretty drastic pullback. It has been CRO has been one of the best altcoin performers this year. It climbed over 400% since the lows were established back in late 2019. And during the March meltdown, since the March meltdown, it is currently ranked number 10 on CoinMarketCap.com. And just yesterday on Sunday, prior to the announcement being made public, CRO did hit a new all-time high of 17 cents a token. Round of applause for the CRO holders. Now, the original MCO token has not fared so well in recent months. Let me actually pull up the MCO chart so you guys can see this. All right, so let's pull open the CRO USD chart. Okay, so for reference, all right, well, clearly Bittrex not the one. Sorry, Jack. All right, so let's just look at calculated by trading view. Here we go. Here is the weekly chart. Remove indicators. There we go. Yeah, that is a good, this is definitionally the picture that pops up when you search for what does a good investment look like? That's what a good investment looks like. That is a fantastic trade, good investment. So huge shout out to anybody holding CRO right now. This is certainly one of the best performers of 2020. And again, let the trend develop and continue to do what it's going to do. Now, MCO, on the other hand, which kind of seems out of nowhere, everybody's like, man, like, let's get this pullback on MCO. Even I was looking for a pullback on MCO. All right, let's go to the daily. Again, not so much. This is certainly not the same looking chart whatsoever. Right? So MCO has not fared so well in recent months or years, like many tokens that did emerge as ICOs in 2017. Let's go to the bar replay feature and pick out the moon pump. All right, so again, nasty looking chart. MCO mostly bled out in price, basically for the last 2 years, just like just about everything else in cryptocurrency, following the 2018 hangover. And it has been hanging out. MCO hung out at its bottom for weeks and months. MCO is currently only number 88 on CoinMarketCap. So while CRO, kind of the new shiny coin, surged basically since launch, MCO, which has been with us for a long time, it has been suffering kind of slowly upwards, but mostly down. It's mostly bad. It's a bad chart. Now, with Crypto.com controlling a majority of the existing CRO circulating supply, of course, we have a ton of conspiracy theories. There's a lot of speculation today. Let's see here. Yeah, so I probably should have looked at these cards earlier. Here is the link to the swap program. So if you guys want information on how to actually access this, these links will be below today's video and today's Breaking Bitcoin Bits segment, which I assume will be following this. Okay, yeah, we'll just stick to this for right now. Now, again, Crypto.com does own a good chunk of the existing CRO's circulating supply. So let's look at the speculation that they were the market makers that were behind CRO's epic pump year to date. And it was mostly an exercise in rigging the conversion rate in their favor. These kind of claims say that they are seeing it used, the price data that was utilized for the conversion was from July for their conversion formula, that they could have chosen a fairer date range that is actually more representative, I think, of MCO's own price, right? Because MCO wasn't doing too terribly relatively, but they chose a pretty terrible time to do this and just rig the exchange in their favor. Now, let me touch on that for a second, because I don't really agree with those things. So, first off, is Crypto.com the market maker? I mean, they run their own exchange. They can pretty much do whatever they want. So you guys all know this. This has not gone anywhere. The amount of wash trading, the amount of completely fake markets, the amount of bot manipulation, whatever you want to call it, is so rampant in cryptocurrency. It is truly mind-boggling, right? I don't know if you guys think that Bitwise report came out last year, and now all of a sudden there's just no wash trading. No, like, this is an unregulated market for the most part. They are going to wash trade until the cows come home, until they're told not to, because why wouldn't you? Your coin is going to overperform. And I will tell you this, for many, many companies that went through the 2018 crypto winter, right? Certainly some companies, as with all things, started off, launched with the correct intention of actually developing an awesome product, which are projects that would have caught my eye. Again, when I consider investing, I only invest in things that I fundamentally believe in and that I think will make the world a better place. The reality, though, is crypto winter was relatively hard on most crypto projects, and all of that sweet VC money quickly dried up. And you're kind of left there with a decision of, well, do we stay ethical and not do anything that would be frowned upon and not make money and basically have to fire everybody? See Steam, for example, who laid off a ton of their employees because they simply weren't generating capital. And Naomi Brockwell's done a really good video on this when we talk about open source software, right? Everybody just thinks that this is just magical open source software that these altruistic developers just work on in their free time because they're so passionate about their projects. In reality, that's not true. It is not true in the slightest. The majority, like a good chunk, from Linux's kernel to Bitcoin, a lot of open source software is funded by centralized companies because they allow their good developers to work on the pet projects that their developers are passionate about. But in general, the project Bitcoin is a rare outlier here. But again, you still have Blockstream and many privately funded companies that support and develop on the Bitcoin protocol and work on Bitcoin source code. For the majority of other coins, we can see a correlation, in my opinion, between kind of the success or perceived success of the coin and their funding strategy, right? You need a way to pay for improvements. You need marketing. You need developers. You need a lot, right? This is not some random thing you release in the world, except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got that first mover advantage. So, again, would things have been different if Crypto.com was not wash trading, which again, we cannot objectively prove that they were or were not. That's just very, very likely. The temptation there is very real. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume probably the likely, not really the negative in my opinion, just the likely. So the answer is no. Things would not have been different had Crypto.com not been wash trading. If they were engaged in wash trading, it just means there would have been less liquidity. You still would have made the same decision that you were going to make in the first place. You either would have longed at an opportune moment or you would not have, right? So another issue that the community called out or expressed concern about is the massive disparity in the supply and what some stakeholders consider a dilution in the value of their MCO positions, right? So MCO has a relatively small maximum supply of 31.5 million tokens, and only half of those are in active circulation. But when the Monaco project rebranded to Crypto.com, they launched a second token, that CRO token, and its supply has a much bigger maximum supply of 100 billion. And less than 20% of those have been produced yet. So let's go actually start off here. Okay. Now, the Crypto.com token swap that we talked about ruffled more feathers when Crypto.com pegged their card tiers on the official website to reflect the new CRO tokens that are now the required coins for staking and acquiring their Visa payment card. So if you guys, we'll talk about this in a second. So if we take a look here at their updated cards page, you can see that here, compare card tiers. Okay, this kind of does not seem substantially increasing the minimum, at least the threshold for tokens that are required to receive one of these shiny all metal Visa cards, which you gotta have. But let's take a look at the basic Crypto.com Visa card, the Ruby card, and do some basic math to demonstrate how the token swap is going to impact the stake that is needed to get this card. So let's go take a look at the Ruby card here. Ruby. Who's got the Ruby? I think it's this one right here. Yeah, boom, Ruby Steel. All right, so learn more. Tell me about it. All right, so you need 5,000 CRO. All right, so previously you only needed 50 MCO to acquire the Ruby card, right? I bought that 50 MCO. I believe it was on stream, at $250 in USD at MCO at last week's prices, anyways. So as of today, the Ruby card tier requires 5,000 CRO, not 50 MCO because MCO is not a thing anymore. 5,000 CRO, and that's going to be, you need to stake it and you need to obviously acquire it. So that's over 850 USD based on CRO's current price as of today. That is almost 4 times more expensive. And this applies to all of the card tiers. Yes, I don't care who you are. Listen, I'm not sure. I could have afforded the, go back to cards. Yeah, I mean, I could have impulse bought this Obsidian card. But kind of one of the marks of having a good amount of capital is the wisdom on how to preserve it. And buying something that is just blatantly like a OMG sticker shock price, not a good way to preserve that wealth. So no reason for me to have the Obsidian card, or rather, other than maybe flex on you guys. Or, again, the way I perceive reality, like enjoying with you. So, yeah, okay, so that's bad enough. But listen, the point here is that if you dragged your feet on getting any of these MCO cards, man, you just got hit. If you had your heart set on upgrading to the purple tier, that would have set you, back about $2,500 worth of MCO just a week ago. But now that amount has ballooned to about $8,500. So again, just times by 4 any kind of investment amount that you were expecting to put into the Crypto.com platform. So staking and acquiring the Crypto.com Visa cards have just gotten noticeably more expensive. And this could indicate that Crypto.com is happy with the current number of stakers. They figured out kind of what their market share is, and they're like, cool, well, we're going to monetize you guys. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're ours. And they're confident in being able to grow, even with making the entire program dramatically more expensive, which, by the way, if that is the case, then that is a sign of strength. All right, so we'll come back to that in a little bit. What it could be is, just being wrong. Best laid plans of mice and men. Now, to be clear, the good news is that if you locked in your MCO stake and you got your card tier prior to this swap, you are going to remain in that tier and receive your card. But if you had a lower tier card, and you were slowly stacking your MCO in the hopes of upgrading to the next tier up soon, well, that upgrade new price is maybe, listen, this recent swap might have put that upgrade price just a little bit out of your comfortable reach. Just being real. Now, others, however, are of course speculating that CRO's meteoric run-up is now due for a correction, that is, and a 3x dump from the current highs that we are enjoying lackadaisically on CRO is imminent. That we're going to see CRO move down to 5 cents, bring the cost of entry to each card tier roughly back at where it was just a week ago when it was still powered by MCO, so that we will see some sort of natural market correction here, which is certainly not good news for CRO holders. Okay. Now, if we look at the official Crypto.com blog post that concerns the MCO swap program, in order to participate and complete the swap of your MCO holdings, staked or unstaked, you have to use the Crypto.com app. So for stakeholders that are already enrolled in the Crypto.com platform and app who either already hold their Visa card or are awaiting delivery, this should not be too much of an issue. But if you're an MCO hodler who has only held their coins on an exchange or another external wallet, you are going to have to download the app, complete its extensive, and by extensive, I mean frustrating, KYC AML onboarding process. So that's going to take like 3 to 5 days if you're lucky. It took me forever to get verified with the Crypto.com app. It was so frustrating. So potentially there are going to be some uncomfortable hurdles for those not on the actual Crypto.com platform. For those of you who are like, I'll just sign up when I need to. It's like not a problem. I'll just hold my MCO on Binance and transfer over when I need to. No, it's not sweet like that, my brothers and sisters. It is a pain in the ass to get on the Crypto.com platform. So Crypto.com, if you're listening, please, genuine request from my soul, get a different KYC AML provider. Okay? Just not the one that Binance used that one time. All right. If you fall into this category of what I would like to consider, I think the professional term here is screwed. You are likely going to be selling your MCO and leaving the project altogether, or reacquiring the CRO tokens if you do it, remain aboard, right? And again, the potential for, let's just say, thank God the market pumped here to reward individuals. Now, reading the official statement here, Crypto.com offers mostly marketing hype in this kind of in this post, late stage Empire stuff, guys. Referencing their upcoming mainnet launch of the CRO blockchain, big whoop, but offering very little in the way of explaining why this move was really necessary, right? Writing, and we're going to quote here. Okay. Writing, and I quote, there will be no change to this core functionality, but we are expanding MCO functionality. And we are representing that in a new way. Specifically, the swap program is going to involve combining the current functionalities of MCO with CRO's utility and technology in a one-stop shop token to enable a streamlined Crypto.com ecosystem. The swap program will also serve to leverage the advanced capabilities of the Crypto.com chain in preparation of its upcoming mainnet launch. So, end quote. If you guys want an example of a paragraph that literally says no words, that was it right there. So yeah, your marketing team has developed a great primer there. Now, if we go to Twitter, the bastion of good information on the internet, we do see that some users are highlighting, maybe gaslighting, that after the swap, the Crypto.com company will control the majority of the supply of CRO. And that's, of course, compared to the, let's say, decentralized MCO circulating supply, which did have a much larger portion of its max supply distributed within the community. So we get a little bit more hardcore here. Some are even alarmed at the prospect that since CRO runs on a private blockchain, not a public blockchain, Crypto.com could really take advantage here. It could adjust or inflate the CRO supply as they deem fit. It's a private blockchain. What you gonna do? Now, the token swap window is relatively short. Let's talk about what you can do realistically. Not a whole lot. This is the way it's going to be for you. The token swap window is relatively short. It does start today, August 3rd. It's going to run to November 2nd, 2020. So you got about a month. And after that date, MCO will not work. And Crypto.com plans to completely phase out the token. A moment of silence for MCO. But again, as a reminder, to maximize the conversion, the early bird bonus runs only a month. You have until September 2nd to complete your swap for that 20%. So I think certainly misstated earlier when I was talking about that first date. So let's go look at Telegram, another bastion of information. So if we look to Telegram, however, we can see how certain users are describing this whole thing as a wider operation, that it has been in the works for months, designed to manipulate the price of both assets. Again, let's walk this back. Any MCO holders on third-party exchanges are going to have to move their tokens to the Crypto.com native app to complete the swap. You cannot complete the swap, the MCO for CRO, on any exchange except for Crypto.com's exchange. You have to be on their native platform, which means you need to deposit the funds there. Now, you can do that. You can take the funds on Binance or KuCoin and move them to Crypto.com. But this move will likely result in a big influx of new users joining the Crypto.com platform and creating new accounts, because MCO hodlers are going to be forced to sign up for this app and join the Crypto.com ecosystem, or they're going to be forced out of their coin in any exchange holdings. It's just going to lose value. And finally, Crypto.com also announced that they are going to be burning all of the company's MCO holdings, sending them to the famous 0x00000 address, writing that before the end of the swap process, they will be burning about 15.7 million MCO tokens that they're currently holding. Now, although this normally would sound good on paper, it holds, again, this little meaning since the creators hold a much bigger chunk of the CRO supply than they ever did with MCO. So ultimately, the community is going to have to wait and see, right? Is the merging of the tokens a new trend, or is it merely a way to attract additional capital, which kind of seems like very, very likely to be. Of course, there are financial incentives behind everything. Now, to their credit, Crypto.com does offer one of the most user-friendly interfaces around. Although, go check out Bybits if you haven't. And they have they've won the trust. Let's just say they have currently won the trust of thousands of users, right? But they have been hurt with this recent Wirecard scandal. Although they did shine through as good as they could on their end. And now, with this surprise token swap program, it's very likely that a lot of potential MCO or Crypto.com investors have, or early adopters even, are gonna maybe wilt a little bit, right? But in the end, this may be the best possible direction for the company to take, because many in the community have been railing and calling for Crypto.com to move towards a single token model and to end the confusion surrounding the dual token system operating until now. And you know how you guys have like two coins, so there's like two things to buy. I feel like that's too much. So you do realize there are just two. Just two. You could buy some of both. It'd probably be okay. No, two is too many. Just bring that down to one. Yeah, be great. So you can kind of see where that argument goes. So, of course, we're going to have to keep our eye on all of these developments in this story. This is just kind of cutting our teeth on it. And please let us know in the comments, did we miss anything, and where do you stand on this issue, right? Are you an MCO OG? Are you unhappy about this fixed rate conversion, or did you just recently pick up MCO as well under $4, and this is already a healthy gain to your portfolio? Cash it out, baby. Let it roll. Please let us know, and thank you guys for joining us for another Breaking Bitcoin Bits, or most likely a cryptocurrency, really a cryptocurrency, but will certainly be a Breaking Bitcoin Bits. All right, with that being said, to the live stream, because to the main scene, because we got to get out of here. You guys can even see the green screen. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I'm your host, Justin Wise. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. So much to say. We laughed, we cried. We talked about LSD for some reason. So cool stuff. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe. It really does help. Hit the bell icon. That's how you know we're going to get notified when we go live. And it's the only way you guys can actually help us overcome YouTube shadow banning, because they just do it. It is a response. It is sensitive when we want to go live and talk about cryptocurrency. Again, as you guys notice, we have changed up our title description. We can't even mention buzzwords in our title that are within our industry. So if we say Bitcoin, if we say crypto in the title description of our YouTube video, or in the title of our YouTube video, you're not going to see our notifications. It just is what it is. And it's wrong, and we're trying to work through it. But you guys can help us out with a subscription. Hit that bell icon. Of course, likes are awesome. If I missed any super chats, I'm sorry. I'll go back through. But we will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. So don't worry. I got a lot of trading to go do right now. Got the end of day wrap up for Forex and cryptocurrency markets. And yeah. If you guys would like to begin building your own objective, data-driven strategy, make sure to join us in the community, discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com, and research the offerings that we have at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. You guys are absolutely amazing. Big shout outs to our friend over at Bybit, hosting the World Series of Trading. Registrations are live. It's WSOT.crackingcryptocurrency.com. So let's just look at that real quick. Sorry. Boom. Yeah. So if you guys head to WSOT.crackingcryptocurrency.com, you guys can check out our troop. Come join us in our battle against the other market participants. We will stand united, leverage sliders in hand against the evil tyranny of anybody who dares to join this competition. Not on our team. Yeah, screw those guys. Listen, Ivan on Tech's people, love Ivan on Tech, but anybody signing up with Ivan on Tech, I'm coming at you, bro. I mean, not going to hold back. It's the World Series of Trading. So come join us, earn some prizes, all kinds of new stuff. Bybit's really pulled out all the stops for this month-long Bitcoin trading competition. So you guys can sign up, as I said, at wsot.crackingcryptocurrency.com. I do believe the early bird special is gone, so I know you got some extra funds if you registered the first initial days. But again, you guys will just have to check. Bybit offers stuff all the time. So wsot.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Big shout outs to other friends of the show, Spectre Security Coin. Use the code GetCracking at checkout, get 10% off. Spectre.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Okay, that's about enough of that. We will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, or death threats, please leave them in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, it is not flashy signals. It is not some pseudo magic. It is not intuition, perception, divination, or rumination that allows me to be a consistently profitable trader. It is the boring stuff, guys. Risk management, emotional discipline, consistency, and sometimes talking about my feelings to my friends and family. So don't neglect that. And remember, you may not get another chance. Tell the people you love that you do love them. Have a good one, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Trade safely.